Works. All right. We're going live. We got, are we on? Does anybody know? I'm trying to check it out on YouTube. It hasn't popped up on my side. Does anybody have? I'm
Oh
trying to
my
check if
God.
it's, I'm trying to check if it's, all right, we're up and running. So we got Cody Evers, we got
I see.
Dividend Dave here, and Frank Contreras back. And we're expecting a few more. And of course, Hyder's here, help supporting us. But yeah, so maybe go for about an hour, and maybe since Dave wasn't on the other week, since he didn't join us, even though we invited him. What's that?
Yeah, it's like, what? Why didn't you
Huh?
invite me the first time? You know, I'm the star of every like live feed I get into. You know, I have to be first every time. You know.
Well, we needed people supporting us in the chat, so we didn't invite you the first time. But we also didn't want to get canceled too, so we have to be careful here.
Yeah, and then I know I just tank your ratings after the first, day or two. I'm doing really good like that interview. Then like I think it was like every half an hour you updated me on how Millennial Mike is like now fourth or second and I'm like here hanging on to my threads of self-esteem and you're just like just grinding it into the ground and that's why we're friends. That's why I love you, man. Thanks for the support.
Oh, of course, man. You're my favorite, man.
I'm like your little brother, right? You just gotta, take my face and just, push into the sand a bit more.
All right. So who's here now? So everybody's popping. I'm trying to keep track of. There's the star showing up right there in the middle. We have Sierra Smith here,
Oh,
who has the
I'm at
same
the top of
outfit
my
on.
screen.
Oh, she's the same outfit on as this morning.
Yeah. No, no clothing change.
All right. Well, Dave, why don't you introduce yourself since you weren't here last week? I don't know. Do you know Jason?
I'm trying to think. Your name, if you're in Dion's threads for his
Yeah,
Tuesday
yeah.
live streams, are probably. Other than that, you're a little familiar. I don't want to disrespect you by saying no, so I'm gonna say probably, but I just have a bad memory.
No, it's fine. Yeah, from Dion stuff.
Okay, yeah. Introduction. Well, I was born in Northwest Washington in 1982. It was a snowy winter. Oh, you want the short version? Okay. Well, I am in North Carolina, Winston-Salem to be exact, and my family and I moved here just a little over a year because we really wanted to start our house buying and really, I guess now investing journey. We were up in Northwest Washington State, and we were looking for homes when it got, when it was just really crazy expensive, even more than it is there in the Seattle area, even an hour and a half north where we're from. So we just started looking at other places, and North Carolina had a lot of stuff to offer, like Washington did, but the people tend to be a bit nicer or outwardly nice, and the prices are quite a bit lower. And so we started looking for houses here. I found this awesome duplex. I bought it. We're house hacking here. I started looking at a secondary market just to get myself amped up with some more cash flow because I really want to do financial freedom. I really want to break free of the rat race and have more time for my side projects, my family, that kind of thing. And so my secondary market, of course, introduced to it by Mark Matsky and William Mike was Northwest Indiana. And so I recently, several months or so ago, I got a property in Gary, and I just got a tenant in there just last month. So it's been doing okay. I got a report of some stinky stuff that apparently had leaked into the basement, and that got taken care of. So I got my first call actually today. So it's always an adventure. There's always something there. Here with the duplex, there's a big septic tank issue. So I don't want to say it's been a crappy year, but it's kind of, but in a funny way, it kind of has been. But yeah, that's kind of my journey so far, and I'm really loving it. Yeah.
Cool. And Jason, so where are you now? You didn't close yet, right? You're in the process of finalizing that purchase, right?
Yes, I have my inspection this Friday.
Cool. How's that everything going? How's that whole situation?
So far, I actually got a new lender, so I got my interest rate lowered a little bit, so I was happy about that. And
Right.
otherwise, hopefully everything goes well with the inspection, and that'll be it. I think the closing date's like January 24th.
Cool. I don't my only advice is for the inspection is just, it's always gonna probably be worse than it is. And that's kind of what the inspection is about. They're always gonna kind of make it a lot,
I hope they kind of do, so they give me some points where I can lower the price a little bit.
yeah, exactly. But of course, run that by Frank and Dion and Cody, and I'm sure they'll point out things that's not too much of a concern. It might, on paper, it might look kind of scary, but then after you talk to some people, it'll probably be like, oh yeah, this is just kind of some regular things that you'll see in inspection reports.
Yes, I seen the property already, so I don't expect too much to be on it, but we'll see.
Cool, cool. Yeah. So whose topic was this kind of? I guess the good, the bad, and the ugly of 2023. Whose topic
I,
was that?
I threw that in there.
Oh, okay. Well, you can lead us off then. I mean, you can lead the way with what good or the bad or whatever, all of them if you want.
It's been a whirlwind for over a year. I know that much. So there's been some good, a lot of bad, some ugly, but it's been fun learning this year. So yeah, we had 7 vacancies in the span of 6 months,
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
and so it's been a ton of turnover. Um, Trying to figure that out, plug holes. First time I built up credit card debt in my life, like that kind of stuff, and having reserves and like that kind of thing. Um, so now it's kind of all right. How do I stabilize from here? Um, so kind of the
Were
good
these
part
were
is
these all inherited tenants or you placed them all yourself?
both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was some of both. So it's just like random things like two or three of them went and bought a new house, so that they were just upgrading. So nothing you can do there. People wanted to move to a different area, so there's not really any horror stories besides there was one recently that um, just just said like, "Hey, I'm moving out same day, no notice." But then we got a decent security deposit, so we're not too worried about it there. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a year, but I did buy a couple properties, and then I bought them, 20% off. So then I'm actually thinking about selling one of them to kind of restabilize, just with all the stuff that happened this year, kind of restabilize and then move forward is kind of my approach. So some good in there, but yeah, it's been fun, that's for sure.
Jason, you can, stop listening if you want and then not pay attention to all of this.
Oh yeah, in the last week I've heard a lot of bad things. Like, oh great.
Yeah, it's just part of the process, man. That's the thing. If you can get over that, get through that, then definitely. I mean, it's just a lot better, But
Yeah, and it's like all those items cash flow wise are it hurts, right? But in the long scheme of things is okay, my equity kind of exploded a little bit, and you still have the debt pay down and tax benefits, and so all that stuff way outperformed like what the cash flow would have anyways if I just had a normal year cash flow wise. So there's still a silver lining there, which makes me feel like more confident in what I'm doing. It's just like, all right, how can we limit tenant turnover going forward and then kind of maximize all the sides?
With the tenant turnover, is it more challenging to place the next tenant? Is that the factor that's kind of more of the headache, or is it the repairs and maintenance that have to be done between tenants that's more of the headache?
So for some reason, it definitely has taken longer to place a tenant, a quality tenant. So that's something that it just like one of them took like 2.5 months long. Like we had a bunch of applications, but it wasn't within our kind of parameters. So um, that was part of it. And then another one, we found somebody, but then they didn't want to move in for another month. So it was like almost 2 months there. And then what I'm going through right now, it's been like a month since that one's opened up. So it's definitely taking longer than I'd hoped for those. The turnarounds, it's like $2,000 to $4,000 each time, which is kind of pretty typical. And then, so I mean, it just kills your cash flow, but I'm not as worried about that. It's the okay, you missed 1,500 this month and then 1,500 the next month, when you don't have it rented, and that makes up for. So it's the 2,000 plus the extra, 3,000 on top that you missed. So it snowballs for sure when it's that many in a row.
Cody, yesterday in class, you were talking to Dion and getting a couple of suggestions on the one that you have up for rent now. That looked like a really nice building. I wonder, would you consider doing like a discount for like the first month's rent, something like that, to maybe pull in a tenant? Even if you are thinking about selling it, I was thinking today that if you got a tenant in there and maybe another investor was looking at the building, that might be attractive to have both units filled versus having one vacant.
That's what attracted me to the one I put an offer on. It's all 4 units are filled for the next 6 months, hopefully.
Yeah, and I guess I was thinking of a little bit different approach, but you guys make a good point, is because I was thinking of more sell to the owner occupied people because they're going to pay more. So that's kind of been my go-to, is like I wanna sell to the owner occupied person that's going to live in it versus the person that isn't going to live in it and just looking at straight cash flow numbers. So that's, since it's open, someone can move right in. It's the better side that's available. And then the other side's paying $1,000 a month, so they'd live very cheaply. So that's something I've thought about on the other end. So I guess what does everybody else think? Which way would you guys go?
With that being said, I think what you were also talking about, selling it and being able to use the profit to pay down some of your other debts and put you in a better spot.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense to me because that relief is pretty valuable in itself. And then you have the other building that you're doing the condo conversion on, that you could use that money later on while you still continue to stabilize during these next few months, right? And then have that 1031 option to start picking stuff up again in a few months.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. And that's something I've thought about, is like, okay, if I sold this one, I would get kind of immediate relief of my debts and stuff. And then once I get that kind of through, then I can take my time with the condos and sell them at the proper time, right? So I could wait until April, May, June when our market's on fire, right? Because we have like a lot smaller window to sell in like prime time. So, and that would be a better option because I'm selling to owner occupants too in that time period. So that's allows me the ability to just wait a little bit on those and get a better sale in the spring potentially.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. It just so happened two of mine came vacant, so I'm probably gonna try and put them on the market to same thing, kind of clean up some debt and then take a step back and hopefully get a big HELOC, and then that way I can move forward. But so kind of like how you were asking, yeah, I prefer trying to list it vacant because I think it's a bigger buyer pool. You can get first time or home buyers and investors, whether if it has a tenant occupied, you may limit who you're marketing to or selling to. So that's why I like these two properties. It just so happened the tenants decided to move out, so they came up vacant. So I said, oh, you know what, I'm gonna try to list these and then see what I can get, especially since it's already slow time for renting because of the weather. So I figure, it's a good time to get it prepped and try to list it and see. And it just, fortunately the rates have come down a little bit, so I think that's going to help.
I'm planning to list mine in early January. I'm actually meeting with my realtor tomorrow at the property, and I think having that one unit open, like it's easier for people to come through it as well, because there are people that get nervous when tenants are there of like viewing a property. I know it's not my favorite thing to do either. Sometimes it's easy. The tenants are easygoing, and sometimes it's not the most pleasant experience. So I like having one side open to show. So I do like that benefit.
Yeah, even if you have pets too, sometimes it scares people coming through, or you
Oh
gotta,
yeah.
you know, if figure out how to, lock up the pet or put the pet somewhere. But yeah, that's an
Yep.
issue also.
Yep. I've had it before where we've had like 3 giant dogs locked up in kennels in the basement, or just something like that. You never
Yeah,
know. But
yeah, and sometimes the tenant's not cooperative, right?
yep.
They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I'll have it locked up," and then this dog is like barking at everyone.
Yep. Yep. So I do like that benefit for sure. Yeah, and I think one of the good things that I was able to lock down a couple different properties to allow myself the position to sell one of these now that we just recently got, and I bought them at a decent enough discount to make up for um, the cash flow not quite being there right now. So it's been a up and down year for sure, but hopefully put it behind us. I feel like I've heard a lot of that this year. Like you even hear like the Ryan Pinedas of the world that are like had a tougher year, and it sounds like it's kind of across the board.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you guys heard I talked about it with Zuber a little bit, but in my mastermind, yeah, there was a lot of people that invested in syndications, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a kind of a common theme that everyone kind of got lazy, and they were just, putting money in all these different syndications and not really, you know, paying too much attention to detail. And, a lot of people just got caught off guard. Yeah. Anyone else have? I know. Oh, Dave, I did want to follow up. I remember when I talked to you about your property in North Carolina when you first. This is kind of funny, Jason, because Dave bought it kind of sight unseen, but
Mhm.
he saw his floor. The floor was like had like a little hill inside, or what was going on with the flooring in your unit when you bought it?
I don't think they spaced the LVP right. So it was a little bit up. You can almost kind of like about an inch up. And so I had a handyman shave some of it off. And there's another spot that's a little wonky. But that's one of the reasons why I named this duplex the Funhouse. And so I was in Washington when I bought this house, and I guess I can just kind of segue into the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good is I bought this house when I was in Washington, and apparently I was like the only one who put an offer on. I'm like, okay, is it like on an Indian burial ground? Oh, what's going on? I'm like looking around, the neighborhood looks decent. It's like C-class neighborhood here. Neighbors are really nice, not a lot of trouble. But there's like an airport close by. I'm like, okay, what's going on with this airport? Is that the reason why it's scaring people? It was like, is the ground shaking when it goes? And like, I'm looking at like the noise levels and stuff. It says medium on like realtor.com and stuff, which is where I found it on. And then I'm looking at like different maps and stuff because you can find sites that have all that stuff map. I'm like, okay, it doesn't say it's that bad. Okay, what's going on? Okay, the numbers over and over again. Okay, this is going to cash flow great. It's got tenants in there. Okay, are the tenants terrible? Okay, just buy it. So I bought it. And I bought it for $140,000. Crazy. And I've only put in about 14 or 15 into it. Most of that amount has been outside clearing up like dead trees that were in danger of falling on the place. So I guess that would be the good thing. And please let me know, Mark, if I misanswer your question here. But yeah, I mean that's a good thing about this 2023. That and my Gary property was just an awesome deal. And everything fit right with there. Very little rent ready, especially for Gary, decent neighborhood. And the cash flow is great. We got a tenant in there pretty quickly. Uh, The bad would probably be just all the little unexpected stuff that just keeps my reserves and my investment savings down. Stuff that I need to fix that are potential hazards, like putting, like, fixing up a deck, getting rid of mold, um, uh, that kind of thing. A domestic dispute between an ex and a relative that happened on my property, and so a lot of unexpected things happen this year. I don't know if this is going to be a consistent thing, like in quantity, like in 2024. I hope not. It feels like it's like the selling process of when you buy a property. That first year, you're still getting everything put into, where it needs to be. And then the ugly is, like I mentioned earlier at the start of this stream, just some kind of gross things like, why is the off on the septic tank? Okay, open it up and there's just tons of stuff in there. Look like it's been there forever, and now it's come to a head. And my tenants are saying they're not flushing whites and other things. I'm like, okay, gotta believe them. Okay, gotta fix it. And that was like $1,100. So, that's really my good, bad, and ugly. So
That was the longest answer to my question about your floor, but thank you for being very.
yeah,
No, I'm just playing, dude.
I
I
told
like
you I told you I'd segue into the good, bad, and the ugly,
no,
man.
no, that's good, man. I'm just messing with you, man.
And now you know why my floors worked. All that stuff is why my floors worked.
Are you gonna so when you have the opportunity, do you think you're gonna invest in Gary again, or are you gonna look for something in closer to your home or in North Carolina?
Probably both. I like Gary because it helps bump up my cash flow a bit. And of course, I can look to Mark and Mike to help, and they've been great. I've through that I've connected with some other people who say like Central Indiana is pretty good too. So I'm kind of looking at that. So I kind of want to stick to just like Indiana and North Carolina here. Um, I'm really focusing on like small multifamily here, but there's not a lot in Winston-Salem. The multifamilies here and in other places around it are like kind of like big old 4, 5, 6 bedroom homes with 4 or 5 bathrooms that they made in like college homes, or like that kind of stuff, dorms kind of stuff. And so that's something I would need to learn. But yeah, I mean, really, I'm looking for multifamily here in North Carolina, or maybe starting to do some midterm rental because we have a huge hospital scene here. And then, of course, with Gary, single families are probably where I'm going to be at.
Oh man, we forgot to invite REI Stoners, man. He's in the
Why don't you send an invite, man? Have him come
Dave.
in.
Dave, that was your job, man.
You didn't tell me that till now.
All right,
You're such a terrible communicator, Mark, man.
man.
Come on.
I'm trying to, not what to do all of this at once. So who's next? I'm gonna message Josh. Who wants to jump in with their good, the bad, and the ugly right now? Sierra,
Okay.
come on.
Let's see. Good would be, that we got our first single family rental. And we closed on it in February. So, I mean, that was great. It went fairly smooth, other than the lending was kind of a headache, but um all in all, it's not like a home run of a deal in really any way, shape, or form, but it other than it doesn't have like any headaches associated with it. Like, it was pretty much turnkey. We could do anything that we needed to get it ready to be moved into. Um and so while it's not like, I mean, it cash flows well, but it's not like something that needed a lot of reserves up front, thankfully. So we used our my husband's 401k for the reserves to go ahead and get started, and then um yeah, it just allows us to be in the game. So that's been great. I would say the ugly, I guess, was that I had gotten frustrated with not being able to find a deal after looking for probably 4 or 5 months. and had kind of given up, and so I had pivoted theoretically into turning our primary residence into the house hack, which is we had always intended to when we purchased it. And so we kind of got started on that, and then we, went um we went in pretty deep and ripped up the floors because we had termite damage that we needed to replace. And in the master suite. And so we were redoing the joist, and then I got an offer accepted on that single family rental. And then we went ahead and pursued it. And so then we like really split all of those funds up that we were really should have allocated to one or the other. And so it's taken us a long time to actually get our house put back together that we're living in. And so that's been I would just say that's been the ugly part, is that it's taken longer. And so we've been in a construction zone longer than we should have, but I didn't want to back out of getting the rental after I had already made the offer on it. Anyway, so it kind of, I don't know. I lost my patience in the middle of all that, and I probably shouldn't have, but what's done is done. And now we're getting close to having it all situated. As far as the bad goes, like,
Dealing with me weekly.
yeah, it's rough. Uh, really, I can't think of much bad going. As far as, I mean, that's kind of lumped in there with the ugly. I kind of burned the bridge with my real estate agent, so I could call that bad, I suppose. But that's doing business.
Mikey, you're kind of quiet over there.
Yeah, it is difficult trying to go between the chat and the live.
Yeah. So I need some help here, people. I'm trying to do like 4 things at one time. Got my fake accounts liking the video or subscribing or whatever. All right. Who's Jason, how about you then? How I mean, so when did you start, I guess, looking for, your first property?
Probably sorry I was muted. Probably like 2 months ago.
Oh, no, that's kind
I've
of
been I've been watching Dion and a couple of like Millennial Mike and a couple other people just trying to learn stuff. I gave up on the stock stuff. Decided to switch.
Has it been everything you expected? I mean, what did
No
you?
surprises so far. I mean, I wish I could have found a deal quicker. I was also looking in Gary. I actually drove out there a couple times to look around, and those properties were no good. So then I ended up finding this one in Chicago. I mean, they were just the one was the pictures didn't look bad, but it was actually like the back porch was falling down. It was not in good shape. I guess there's a couple different areas in Gary, and I think I was in the bad area.
Oh, there's a good area in Gary?
There's a better area, I should
Oh.
say.
I don't know. I can't say. I've never been there, so
I'm
just going
sure,
off.
but I mean, I'm just gonna jump in. And hopefully this deal goes through, and I'll learn as I go along. I'm hoping if any tenants move out, I'll have 3 other ones that don't, so it won't be too bad.
And you are self-managing, right?
Yes,
Cool.
so that'll be interesting as well.
What about you, Dave? How are you doing the Gary? You're using Mike's guys?
Yeah, I'm using a property management company that Mike and Mark have used. It's Kurt and Vicky. They're a mom and pop property management team, and they come recommended, and I've had great communication and work with them so far. They were able to get my property rent ready really quickly, and we're very, very clear and transparent with how everything is. So
Are you going to be in Vegas?
I'm trying to see if I could work on it. I'm trying to pay down some stuff right now, and it's looking like I might not be able to make it after all. So I got to stick with what my priorities are on that one, but
Yeah.
I'll try, but no promises.
You're saving up for going out of the country or something. Your next trip.
No, I already did a lot of traveling this year, and it gets expensive quick.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna miss you if you're not there, man.
Yeah, Mark, I'd like to believe that.
What do what do you mean? I want to meet you in person, man.
But you keep saying how much you love North Carolina. I'm not going anywhere.
That's true. My
Unless you
my
come here,
son,
then I'll move
there.
into
My
life.
son's there right now. My son and his mom. Well, they actually drove to Georgia just yet to this morning, but they're in North. They'll be back in North. It's supposed to freeze, right? Or it's supposed to have next week. I think they're expecting snow and stuff because they. I think she's trying to change her flight.
I heard that today
Yeah.
in the office. They're talking about snow up in Mount Airy, which is like right just south of Virginia, just like North Carolina. So we did get a little snow here last winter, and it has been like 30 in the 30s this year. So, it is very possible to get that. And we definitely get all seasons. That's one of the appeals of North Carolina. Sometimes more definite than others. Like if you're in the mountains, you'll get more snow, obviously. But yeah, it comes.
Should move up to Wisconsin. It's nice and warm up here.
Ah, I'm not falling for that again.
Well,
So
it's actually been like 50 degrees. It was 50 degrees on Christmas, so it's warmer
Huh.
than North Carolina.
Yeah.
so Dave, Josh said he's losing his Vegas roommate since you're not going.
Yeah, I know.
So
No sleep
wait,
cuddles.
so you bought a ticket because Hyder is asking what kind of premium are you going to charge for your Vegas ticket?
Is higher. Well, higher. I'm going to charge him 500% because I like him, and that's a friend price. So,
Actually, he's saying let's pitch in and help Dave make it.
oh.
Well,
I always rely on the kindness of strangers.
I'll give you the proceeds from my channel. How's that?
I mean, you already gave me your 2 cents. I don't need two more. You're not even monetized yet.
Oh well, yeah.
Are you monetized? I don't know,
I'm not
man.
monetized, man.
Okay, well
you're
then, yeah.
It,
So
it,
you're just teasing me. Well, I'm
it,
sure gonna miss out on Vegas with you there.
it's not going to be the same without you, man.
Have you already bought the room and the ticket?
I'm gonna change the topic.
You just need the flight.
I'm working on something. Okay, I'm working on something. Like I said, we got to pay down some stuff, and um, you know, I got to be responsible with my finances on that thing. So, that's all I can really say about it on a live stream. But yeah, I know I'll be destroying the community if I don't make it there. So I got to figure out something.
We'll FaceTime you in to the Denny's meetup.
Oh yeah.
You can just sit, you can still sit there on the phone and hang out.
I'll be eating my Denver omelet, and
Yeah.
it won't be the same. It just you got to be there. It tastes different, right?
well, at least one good thing they're talking about trying to do it annually, so there will be next year too.
Robot annually. Maybe one every couple years. Or they gotta change the event. They change that maybe like Hawaii next year or something.
So it's just you. Just you show up anytime.
Mikey, me and
Me
Mikey.
too.
You're Mikey. Well, no, Mikey might be busy that day, right? Mikey he might be visiting me.
Yeah, I think I might be in Japan that time.
There you go.
Figures.
I did want to say, from Matt's course, I looked up Dave, and then I sent him a private message, and I didn't get anything back. So I reached out to Mark, and Mark connected me with Dave, and he called me that day, and we had a great conversation. So it was so cool talking with Dave one-on-one.
I
Yeah,
know.
we both have a Japan connections. We both have Japan connections and a mutual hate word, hate for Mark. No, I'm just talking.
I know Dave's
No,
like
we
that.
love you, Mark. We love you.
Dave thought he was like big time. I'm like, what do you mean he didn't call you back yet? It's like, let me go
Yeah,
talk to
you
this
you
guy.
changed me pretty good. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I don't I don't go on. I've gone through Matt's course and everything, and I don't revisit it as often as I need to. So, I guess sometimes people message me that I should really revisit it. But uh, yeah, Mark mentioned, hey, you ever replied to Mikey? I'm like, who? He's like, yeah, Mikey messaged him. I'm like, where did he message me on? And I'm like looking on my Facebook and all that stuff. He's like, Matt's course, but well, yeah, I'm not on there that much. No wonder I miss it. And then I'm like, well, give me his contact info. And I called him that night. So yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's a great conversation.
And then now Mikey goes and calls everyone. Like he's like stalk.
He's
Mikey's
not
like
called me.
he's like stalking everyone.
Yeah.
He's great social media
He
support.
is. He
Like,
is. Mikey's great. He is.
No, Hyder though. I copy Hyder because Hyder
Yeah.
is the original, and I see what Hyder does, and I just try to copy his style. So yeah, sorry, Hyder.
See what you're getting into, Jason? Are you sure you're ready for all of this?
Yeah, hopefully everything works out for the best. I've been learning lots, so that's the goal.
That's good. Yeah. I don't know. But I think it seems like everyone has, mainly like rental property, but Cody's don't. I mean, Cody has the laundromat. I think that's
Yeah.
yeah. That's I mean, I want to get it maybe self-storage. I was trying to get I don't know if you guys know who Kevin is, Kevin Rapper. He's a firefighter in San Francisco, but he does self-storage now, but he has family in town, so he couldn't make it on. But that's his niche now. He's went from like single family homes. He 1031. So he's just strictly self storage now.
I like the self storage idea. That's always something I've been considering getting into as well. It's just
Yeah.
like you need an operator to do it though, like because
Yeah.
otherwise it takes up all your time. I would guess.
No, he says, I mean, once you get your systems in place and everything is like automated and yeah, I mean he was telling me all the positives that you don't deal with the tenants and it's like if they don't pay, then you just cut the locks and you basically remove their things and that's it. You don't have to go through like eviction process and there's a lot less headaches.
Yeah, I worked at a storage facility for a little bit, and it's not that bad. It's not like you're rushing everywhere. People come in, you show them the units. Some things are auctioned off. So people are interested in doing like an auction or that kind of thing. You just open up abandoned units and they look at they look from the outside. There's rules and stuff, but it wasn't a terribly difficult job. So I imagine that you being an owner, you get a manager in place and I think with anything, even like getting like a fast food franchise or something, you kind of want to work there and just get a feel for what the systems are, and then you can kind of know what the red flags are when you hire the people to be the hands-on.
I
All right,
like
so he
that,
does it.
Sierra. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so he does it with a full time job, like runs all his storage units.
Well, I mean, he's a firefighter. I don't know how full time he is, but no, yeah, he's a firefighter in San Francisco, and I I don't know. I know he just bought one in North Carolina, self storage, and I think that might be his market. But yeah, so he has systems in place, and same thing. They kind of just get everything automated. So they find locations where it's like a older owner, mom and pop, and they're kind of outdated. And they kind of upgrade everything, so everything's odd like bill pay, like the security systems and everything. So keypad entry type stuff. So yeah, everything's pretty much automated. He said.
Where do you find that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I know they use like those commercial, for like Zillow. They have like what is it like
Hmm.
LoopNet.
LoopNet and Crex. Yeah, so they use those type of things. And same. I saw like he's more on X or Twitter, but like I seen like I don't know what day it was, but like he has all his mailers. He's showing, oh, I'm sending out 500 letters or whatever. So he sends it to the owners and lets them know he's interested. And every one out of maybe like 500, might reply back to him, but that's all he's really looking for, right? And getting the conversation started. And yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, because I have a commercial property in Hawaii with my family, but Yeah, it's I mean it's more of like a triple net, but yeah, it's a different kind of thought process. I mean, it takes a lot longer, it seems like, to fill vacancies. But then when you get people in there, it's kind of you have a better tenant, I guess.
For those off ones, I mean, I know in my area we have people walking by asking if this and this were for rent. It's, the demand here is really crazy. And there's a huge Section 8 shortage. A lot of people don't want to rent the Section 8 because of whatever reason. And so, like my tenant's daughter was on there, but her voucher lapsed because she couldn't find a place. And I'm trying to get more property because I'm, pro that. So I guess it just depends on where you are and uh, in the type of asset and whether or not it's, in demand, like, self-storage, that kind of thing. You might want to look at cities, like you can look at the U-Haul migration list, I think, if there's a lot of people moving into a place or that kind of thing, you might want to look at the storage market there. Like I said, I don't know much about the measurements of that, but, any place where people are looking to store,
It's interesting because even like where I'm at, uh, which is way more rural, I would say, in Tennessee, um, the storage units just line the highways out here. And I mean, there's not a lot of metro areas, but so I can't imagine, I don't understand it from that point. Like they're very inconveniently located, and everyone out here has land as far as storing stuff, being able to park stuff where they want or put a shed up or something like that. So it's kind of interesting. As like what you're saying, like think about where people are moving, but like even out here, they seem to do well and they're not anywhere close to like a city area.
whereabouts are you in Tennessee? Not to be too intrusive.
Oh yeah, I'm about like an hour-ish southeast of Nashville.
Okay.
So kind of between, I think like Knoxville is probably hour and a half or hour 45 from here.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool on Matt's live stream where he kind of said that you guys should connect, have like a Denny's meetup. Oh,
Yeah,
I'd love to
yeah.
hear, yeah, the recap of that.
Yeah, I need to touch base with him because I mean, I did not expect for him to be coming out here to check out his family's horse cremation business. That was wild. But and I don't think I want to meet up there to check it out either. So we'll see.
So Sierra's volunteering to come up with awards for the Vegas trip.
Am I?
Yeah.
No, but I'm thinking of the office scene where they give out
Dundee's.
yeah, the Dundee.
Well,
Because Hyder said he was a comment creator. No,
uh,
like that's the award that he needs for sure.
we got the Passport Bro Award.
That's Dave, I think.
And this
He's the
dad joke
originator.
award, man, what are you talking about?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Hey, so Frank, that logo on Facebook, is that going to be that's your business logo?
That has been, yeah, that has been that's the front of my business card.
Oh,
It's
okay.
been, yeah, that way and I forget why I did it. I think I was trying to post something in the real estate rookie group, but they wouldn't let me because I didn't have a photo or something.
Oh,
So I had to find something quick, and none of my other selfies did the trick. So yeah, so that just ended up on there. I think, well, like I said, it's been about that's my second card. When I first started out, I was basically like a handyman. So it was I had a handyman card for about 10 years, and when I finally got licensed, I decided to do it right, and that's what we came up with.
oh, I like it. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, thank
catchy. Yeah. Cody, so Cody, how long are you going to be in Hawaii for when you come out here?
About 10 days.
Oh, nice.
Extended vacation, get out of town, try to get out of the -10-degree weather we'll have here probably at that point. So
And you're
it'll be
and
good.
you're not going straight to Vegas, right? Or from here?
No, so
You're going,
we'll be home for a couple weeks and then I'll
oh,
fly
okay.
out like Thursday morning beforehand.
Mikey's taking you to the bars when you come here.
That sounds good. He's got to find the show us the hot spots.
Oh yeah, let's rock and roll.
We're only going to be on Oahu for a night, so just
Oh,
load it up.
so you're going to be on Hawaii or Maui or?
Maui. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll be on
okay,
Maui.
yeah. Yeah, no, Maui's not too bad. I mean, stuff a little bit later, they're open. Some of the other islands by 8 o'clock is like shut. Everything is shut down.
Yeah, we kind of figured that. So I heard Maui's kind of in the middle.
Yeah,
So hopefully
Maui.
there'll be some
Yeah,
places that'll stay open a little later.
yeah. Oh, all right. Well, anybody else want to talk about 2023 or what they're gonna hopefully do in 2024? Like Mikey, what's your next plan, man?
Yeah, still looking at multifamily, and there was that one we're looking at. It's the 3-1 side by side,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
we kind of had everything set, and then all of a sudden, boom, got canceled. The tour got canceled on us, and contingent
Oh.
that day of showing. So yeah,
Hmm. Oh well, that happens, man. I mean,
Did you still put an offer on it in case that falls through?
yeah, I asked to be in second position, but you know, in that area, it's going fast. Like even the single families are going fast.
Where are you looking to buy in, Mikey?
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was thinking Pennsylvania, but yeah.
Oh, thanks to Mark.
no, you just stalked me and then I talked to you and I'm like, he's in Hawaii. He might find me, so I better talk to him. He might show up on my door.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sierra keeps teasing us about our height, man, Mikey. So just letting you know that.
I did throw a little bit of shade.
Yeah. But
I wanted to ask if anyone had ever considered billboards or investing in the billboard area or arena, I should say.
Like as a, to invest in one or to use them for like
Yeah.
marketing?
To invest in them and like, for the cash flow on that, on renting them out for advertising.
Can't say I've ever thought about it, but sounds pretty
That's
interesting.
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that I think of as being like the least headache possible because like you're not dealing with a lot of customer service really.
And they're really high up, so they don't get like tagged a lot of time, So
Yeah, true. It's hard to damage them.
yeah. Well, look into it and
No, I guess
let
I
us
need to.
know.
I can't, but that's the thing is like I can't find anyone to ask about it. So I'm
You would
I
have to lease the land from whoever owns the land that's going on, I'm guessing.
right. Well, and that's the thing is that I had thought about, when I look at, potentially flipping land or buying land, I always think about like, well, what if I just bought the land for the sole purpose of like having the billboards on it? And then, you know, you get the cash flow from that in the meantime, and then hopefully the appreciation on the land like over the long term.
yeah, there's a live with Dion, one of Dion's live where somebody was asking about like having kind of like he had like semester land and he wanted to convert that into like a place where companies could like park their rigs, like their trucks and
Mhm.
stuff. And there's Dion was because Dion's in that commercial driving. He was in that before he retired, so he was talking a lot about different grade of gravel and that kind of thing because ground pollution stuff. Obviously,
Mhm.
advertising is not going to be that problematic, but that is an interesting thing you brought up, Sierra. Is like, well, you could buy like an acre of really cheap land or something, and then you could say, hey, my land's up for arbitrage to have somebody put in a billboard hangar or post, and then you can rent it out to the company, and you can also get a percentage off whatever that's the interesting way you can go at it, both sides that way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, try to figure out a way where you're always the first billboard, where no one can put a billboard in front of your billboard, and it'll
Yeah.
create all
You have
the
to own the land, enough land on either
yeah.
side. I mean, but really, I mean, at least along the interstates, like you just like own the ditch, really. Like it's not good land in those parts, but as far as like land out here or even in the Midwest where I'm from, like it's mostly flat. A lot of times it's getting leased out for windmills now, and people are making money off that. But I'm like, if you could put one billboard up, like I mean, you can get. I think you rent billboards at, from what I remember, doing some advertising, like it is like 350 a month, and I'm like, well, I mean that's a lot less headache than a rental house for comparable cash flow, and no not much maintenance I would think would go into that, unless you have like one that you need to run power to. um but yeah, anyway, something
Yeah,
I've been thinking about.
but yeah, if you got up on the highway, the land right next to the highway is probably not going to be premium, so you could definitely probably get something like that, and then maybe get something constructed there, like I was saying. I don't know, is that's interesting thing to look into. You know.
Sorry, I'm dealing with a Airbnb thing right now.
You do
Right.
Airbnb in Hawaii?
Managing them, yeah. So
Oh, managing this.
like 7 Airbnbs. So yeah, some people are just, yeah, I don't know how they've survived in life this far. It's amazing. But I get it. They're not, from here, or sometimes they're from Japan, and maybe there's a language stuff, but some of the questions they ask. But
Yeah, I've been looking into midterm rentals to help boost some income for down payments on long-term properties.
yeah, no, I mean it's once you, well, midterm, I'm not too sure. You still got to find your tenants, right? Or find your, you know, whoever's going to stay there. Like Airbnb, yeah, it's a little more communication wise, but pretty much they come to you, right? The guests. So it's a little bit less work in that sense. And you're not screening really anybody because that's Airbnb's job. So you're basically just kind of the host. So it's not too bad, because we have a lot of automated messages. So it actually makes things a lot easier. So where, they might ask something like about a key or something, and we already have messages set up. If they say key, then it's kind of easy to find a message that's already set up to just automate to them.
Yeah. One of my biggest fears in buying rental properties is like with Gary, and with here, and it's gotten easier with my experience, but it's just I've always been worried, okay, what if I never find a tenant? What if I never. But with my Gary property, when you hear all that stuff about Gary, nobody wants to be there. It's a dying town. I'm like getting got tons and tons of people wanting to rent the property when it got posted. And the listing was like charming 3-bed, 1 bathroom house with a basement. Now is it? There's no other substance to it. And I'm like, okay. So, when it comes to like midterm rental, like my aunt and uncle, they have a property up in Birch Bay, Washington, which is this little vacation town. And it's a 3-bed, 2 bath. And they get booked all the time. I'm like, okay, so my fear is kind of irrational. Just prep for it, have the reserves. So what I want to do with midterm rental, what I want to try this year or this year and this coming year is to actually reach out to like medical professional staffers and say, hey, look, I got some properties that I'm going to be lining up, and and you can work on doing like a contract with them. Say, hey, I want to help bring quality people to this area. I want to take care of them. I want to put them in good, safe areas. Let's see what we're at. You just keep calling them and doing the offers and stuff. So the way I was thinking about doing it and how other people can look into doing what they're doing is if there's the supply or the demand's not there, just find a way to create it, right? And then I want to actually look at my, well, I don't have 20, 30, $40,000 down to buy a house. That may be a good midterm rental, but I've been looking at the numbers in my area, and I can like on Furnished Finder, there's like a 2 bed, 1 bath that can go for 2250, and I can rent that out in the same area for about $1,000. And then plus my utilities and stuff, I'm probably clearing about 700, 800. So I'm like, why not try it out and see how it goes? If it's successful with one thing, replicate it again, and replicate it again. And then pretty soon you got all this money that you're putting aside for down payments to like, buy maybe in cheaper markets that you've studied throughout doing that. And that really is just kind of going into my mindset going into 2024 and what I'm looking to do. Grow income, and not
Yeah.
just rely on saving at my job, because my job, I'm getting by, but it's slow going, really slow going. And it really motivates you to look for other means to do it, to do what you can do.
Yeah. What about you, Cody? Are you able to get HELOC or equity lines of credit on your properties and stuff?
So I'm working with a credit union that allows to do a line of credit as long as they have the first position.
Hmm.
So if they have the first, they have no problem doing a second for HELOC or a second mortgage.
Cool. Yeah. What about you? What about you, Dave? Can you get HELOCs on your properties in Gary?
Uh, I would think so. I've never tried it. I think it's the same kind of rules as with this property here. You have to have had it for like 6 months,
Hmm.
and then of course they do the whole 80% of what the value is, and then they subtract the outstanding debt from there. And my house, like but the thing with Gary is that homes don't really appreciate that fast. So, you know,
Yeah. I haven't had any luck yet in Pittsburgh. I know Mikey hasn't either yet, but it's been a little
like they're
challenging.
they're
Yeah, we
not
just
they're not they're not giving you HELOCs, or they're not making that option available, or
Well, not living there definitely makes it a lot more challenging. So being, maybe if I went there and built some relationships with the banks, it might be a little bit easier. But as of now, it's kind of challenging to find a bank. Well, like I told Mikey too, I think the lending kind of just changed a little bit. So maybe when things loosen up a little bit, it might be a little bit different. But as of now, it's not. Things are kind of restrictive.
interest rates are still pretty up there, though, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're just definitely not being in that area and being out of state. I don't think that's like the risk that they want to take right now.
Okay, my Gary is 7.6 interest rate, 7.6, and a few other numbers after that. But even with that, it was able to cash flow pretty well. So I'll have to check with Mike or Mark on that. But I don't know if they've done any cash out refi. I think Mark might have done some cash out refis. Matt might have done some cash out refis for his Gary homes, but I'll have to check with him on that. But I can't see why you wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, cash out refi you probably could, but to get
Or
like
just
a
HELOC or
HELOC,
something.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
we
Dave,
just had to
what?
get a
Sorry, go
go ahead,
ahead.
Sarah.
Answer.
We just had to get another reappraised to allow us that differential. So I got a $50,000 HELOC on one of my duplexes. So you just got to get reappraised at the new higher number, and yeah, as long as they're the first, you should be able to be good, or at least try. Maybe a smaller institution might be more lenient on that versus a bigger one.
Dave, what was the purchase price on your property in Gary?
Uh,
Two sticks of bubble gum and pizza.
Close. It was 55.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
And
just
because
then I put
I'm just thinking about
13.
how you cash flow on something with a, over 7% interest rate, but that, I mean, it
Well,
impacts the smaller purchase price a
it,
little bit less.
it was 55, and I put 13K into rent ready rehab. But then I ran it at 1100 because I always run the numbers conservatively. And then the property management team, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna actually list it for 1250." I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Wow.
cool."
wow.
And I got it. And so the mortgage is
Wow.
484 and change. And I'm 1250, and I take 28%, 8% for the property management fee and 20% for vacancies, repairs, and maintenance. So that's $415. And then I actually only put about, not counting the 13 grand, I actually put like about 7,000 of my own money. And my parents had quite a bit of money in a bank. Like they had a good like 20 something thousand in the bank account. I'm like, hey guys, instead of letting it erode from inflation, give me some of that money. And then I put them in. So I'm paying them a little bit of money to help them out, and they're getting a little bit of the rent. And after all that cut away, I'm still clearing like 270.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got to help out my parents. I got to secure an asset. I got to meet my $250 net cash flow minimum. And that's why I keep saying that is a sweet deal. And I want to do more deals like that. If people are interested and they have some extra cash around and I find a really great deal and they want to get some experience, I'm always open to do that. Of course, my long-term goal would be to buy them out of the deals so I can get the more cash flow in the long run. But sometimes that works for people. But that was like a really good a really good deal. And the problem with Gary that I'm seeing is that a lot of deals like that are a little bit lower priced. They are kind of, some of them are like skeletons inside, or they just need a lot of 20, 30 plus work, rehab work. So it is changing in places like Gary, where, like when Mike and Mark Matsky were buying homes, you could still find pretty turnkey homes for like 55, 60, 65. But
Is the
markets change.
1250 is the
Yeah.
1250 rent, is it a Section 8 tenant?
No,
That is
that's the
wild.
crazy part. I asked them, I'm like, "Are you guys advertising for Section 8?" They're like, "Yeah, but this one's not one." I'm like, "Okay."
Damn. How
That's
much do you
great.
guys pay for property management there since you guys seem to have like a big group of people?
I mean, it's 8% of the gross. So I mean, I'm bad at math, but I can of course get a calculator when I
No,
find
no, I
one.
mean, yes,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
good.
it's like was it? Hold on a second. 1250. It's like $100. But so I don't know if it's whenever they place a tenant, it might be whenever they place a tenant, they do take 50% of the first month's rent. But everything after that's 8%. It varies, of course. Some property management companies charge like I think 10%. So of course it's per business, but it they're really good. They're really responsive. I wouldn't have gone with the property management team. Like I wouldn't have gone with them if I hadn't heard good things. Because I am part of a few Gary mastermind groups, and I was aware of like a tax increase that happened where the taxes were like 40 something dollars a month. Now it's about 100 something dollars a month. I have to double check on that, but it almost doubled because they're trying to revitalize the schools in Gary. So when you're part of groups like that and network with other investors, you will get an idea of what's coming down the pipe. And then you can take that and use that in when you're looking for cash flow deals. You can add that expense to it.
Did we lose Cody? Oh no.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he messaged and said he had to get going.
Oh,
Or let me see.
Yeah, I got to take off here shortly. So,
all right.
um,
Okay, cool, man.
happy to be on with you guys.
Cool, man.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for jumping on again, and it's always fun. Oh,
Absolutely. Hope I can make it next time. Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Anyone else? Anybody else has something they want to share or need help with? Or
I have a couple of things that I've been thinking about today. One one thing was what Dion talked about earlier today with the talking about cash flow and yield and those two things not being the same, of course. And I wonder how you guys look at, for a quick example, if you buy something for say 100,000 and with your down payment, closing costs and stuff, if you end up putting like 30K all in, that's your cost to acquire, which affects your yield. And I imagine it will affect your cash flow a little bit too. But so if out of that cost, if say $5,000 would be considered make ready costs in your first, do you think that only affects your yield until you make that $5,000 back? Because it seems like just say after you factor in the 30,000 K all in and your yield comes out to like 10%, if you can and over the course of however many months you make that 5,000 back, then would you adjust your yield, or does that stay the same throughout the life of the property?
Um,
Does that make any sense?
yeah, my initial thought to that is like, what are your make ready costs going towards? Because some of that is going to be expensed or depreciated on your taxes. And so you get some of that back against the profit, right? So, like for instance, we put a shed at the property that we had. That was part of the make ready cost, because we knew that it being a 2-1 without a garage, like it needed some sort of storage in order for anyone to stay there longer, right? But then like we're gonna depreciate that shed, the cost of that shed. So it's kind. I don't. I think I'm following the line of logic where like kind of once you redeem that make ready cost, then it kind of exits the equation.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Whatever cost you got into to acquire and make it so that a tenant could get in there, that's what I really base it off of. Any improvements like a shed could increase the rent, or putting a porch or that kind of thing. That could add to the attraction and the retaining of a tenant. I would just, add that to the rent, and that would make up for that. Regarding adjusting things as it goes along, I don't really think that factors into it. I've never heard anyone talk about that. I mean, that is a good question though for Dion. Like for the next members group chat, you can ask them, hey, if you add these things along the way, do you equate those into your cash on cash return on equity or investment, excuse me? So, that is really good question. But I just never seen it answered really,
I
aside
guess,
from it's just whatever money you put into it to get it to be where you can get a tenant in there and retain them safely.
yeah, I guess my question would be like, I guess what are you using this data for? Like as far as, like calculating the money going in and whether it's affecting your yield or your cash on cash. Like are you using this to determine like whether you're gonna sell it, or like how are you using this information, I guess?
Yeah, I think I'll give you a different scenario that kind of um, gets to the same point. So, for example, um, like in our regular calls, with the guys, we talk about when we're first purchasing a property and we're going through the analyzation, like Dave mentioned, you take out your pity, right? And you take out for property management, and I usually take out 15% for expenses, vacancy, maintenance, and so forth. So once you take all of those things out and your yield, just say you're shooting for 10% yield, if that's a good in your area. But then once you have saved up that 15% for expenses and you have your reserve set aside, you add that 15% into your cash flow, which makes your yield, a few percent greater. It's kind of the same idea, right? So just take, for example, just say I have $100,000 set aside for reserves for 10 properties. I buy a new one and I already have reserves, so I don't need to set aside the 15%. So instead of getting a 10% yield, my yield would be 14 or 15%. I wouldn't use that to purchase the deal. I would still take everything out to make sure it was a good cash flowing deal. But I don't need to set aside that 15% because I already have my reserve account. So, so I don't know if that is making any sense, but
Oh,
I always just keep piling on the reserves because you never know what's going to happen. So I don't add it back into the cash on cash return on investment. I always just, since day one, I always do that. The net includes subtracting that 20, 15%, whatever.
yeah.
I mean,
So
when analyzing and comparing deals, you're, as long as you're doing it all the same way across the board. But then like, are you like, what's the goal? I get, because what you're saying makes sense, but then, I mean, you're just talking about like numbers on a spreadsheet, right? Like are you talking about like, should I move this money to a different account now that I know that it's not going to have to go to my reserve account? Or do I put it into like, I mean, what's the goal with
yeah,
figuring out? Does that make sense?
yeah, so Dion has said it before where um, that same kind of thing. So when so the analyzation part is always the same. You're always going to take out all of those things to figure out if you're buying a good deal. But even he has said once your reserve account is where you want it, and so originally your cash flow is going to go, say, into a savings account for your next purchase if you're growing. Once your reserves are met, you can take that 15% and put it in your savings account towards the next purchase. So it just got me thinking that when you originally bought the deal, you were getting a 10% yield, but now that your reserves are met, your yield is better. And it goes to the fact that we talked before about when you first start out on your journey. And for us, we had figured we'd need like 20 doors at 200 a door positive to cover our living expenses and a little bit more. But when you're going through and just say you pick up 5 or 10 properties in the first, 5 to 7 years, now at year 7, your cash flow is greater. So maybe you don't need 20, right? After 7 years, maybe you only need 10. So it's that kind of growth, I guess, that it's all tying in together for me. It's all just, um, just, not that. So the principal pay down and the, appreciation doesn't really matter. It's the growth in cash flow, the rising rents, and those kinds of things that are going to make it easier. So maybe you don't need the 20 units to retire like you thought in the beginning.
Yeah, it
I
kind
see
of
what-
allows you to recalculate. I see what you're saying now, and Hyder called it because he said in the comments, like, I can hear Dion saying, "Don't compare your year one to your year 10," and that's kind of like what you're alluding to is that, um, right now, in the beginning, the yield and cash on cash return, like the numbers feel lower compared to what all of these experienced investors have. But then 10 years from now, we'll be like, well, our yield is awesome. And we didn't sell these deals and now it looks really good. And you can kind of restructure your whole
Oh shit!
portfolio
Who
to
let
make
this
sense.
guy in? Sorry, trying to block him. But yeah, Frank, back that was kind of what I was trying to get to a little bit was kind of I think in the beginning, all the calculations and yield is when you're analyzing the deal is crucial to depending if you're gonna move forward. But after, the first few years is kind of, you know, you're not gonna really sell, I think, based on that, right? If the asset is performing, I mean, if the market itself changes, now you might evaluate which assets you might want to sell off or reallocate funds or whatnot. But as far as whether the yield is changing, I think that's on a spreadsheet it might look nice, like saying, "Oh, your yield has increased and whatnot." But after that, I think after the first few years, it's kind of it's just whether the asset's performing or not, and
Well,
just
it'll sound good on your YouTube channel whenever you're like,
yeah,
my
yeah,
yield
exactly,
is,
yeah, yeah,
18%.
yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that was kind of my point. It's like um, over time, even let's say you pick something up, and like I mentioned before, our Gary property, the yield is probably 8, maybe 9%. But next year it's going to be even better, and so on and so on. So as long as it's not an alligator in the beginning, it seems like it's always a good deal. You know what I mean? And I would never buy anything that didn't cash flow day one as far as what we need ourselves, but just a thought.
That makes sense. Yeah. The
Yeah,
deal just gets better with time.
it makes sense with how you say it, Frank. I agree. I mean, once your reserves start overflowing, yeah, you could probably allocate that to new deals. But
Mhm.
of course, eventually something will come along where you'll need to put back into it.
We lost
Yeah,
our guide.
Yeah, where'd
yeah,
Mark go?
yeah. Where did my? Yeah, it is interesting when I try to kind of reverse engineer how another investor ran their numbers. When I see kind of rental listing go up, then I kind of track what it sold for, and I try to run numbers kind of from their point of view, and I try to understand. And you see the averages kind of go all over the place. Like I'll see some like a 3%, some go up to like pretty good, like 12%, some in the middle. So it took me some time to kind of even understand. I don't even know if I understand now where the average is for me. And that's kind of what I've been trying to decipher more and learn more about.
In your market?
Yeah.
What the average deal would be? Like yield?
Yeah.
Like you just like the way I've done it is I just get a collection of properties that cash flow my area, and then I run the average of all the net, the nets together, and that's the average, that's the average there. And then like as Dion and Mike and others say, you try to beat it. I'm less diligent on that. I'm more on okay. For Gary, a great deal is like 354, 250 is like minimum acceptable for me. Um, for here in my market in North Carolina, I try to do 250 unit, but if I'm looking at like quads or higher, I'm okay with like 2. So I'm trying to get the most out of what I can so I can hit my measurements towards financial freedom. I'm not kind of looking at, okay, the average here is 12%, so let's look for 14. I mean, I probably should, but that's just not my mindset right now.
When you say that, Dave, you mean are those amounts per door, 200, 350, and so on?
Yes, per unit. So
Okay.
like, I could find a duplex, and the duplex is like, okay, that's no problem, 250. But the way the market is here, when you start getting tries and quads and stuff, there's a lot of tries and quads because, like I was saying at the beginning of this chat, this live stream, you know, there's a place called High Point, and that's the place that has the most like side by side duplexes and triplexes and stuff. There's a fourplex that's been kind of outside of High Point. That's been a market, and it's been like 425 for like a year and a half, and it's like way overpriced for that area. But when you get duplexes and whatnot that are the small side by side ones, like they're apartment ones, it's easy to find ones at 250 or so. But then when you start getting to like the triplexes and the fourplexes and the other areas around here, they're like those big old houses, right? That then converted into multifamily. And the people who are selling them, they're like selling them for way over price for what you can get for the rent here, So and they don't usually go down very much. So you're looking at like at some point you kind of be like, okay, as long as I can probably get like 2 a unit, it's still worth it because when I start getting to like 180, 150, 100, it's like these are older homes, they're going to create more maintenance. And do I really want to make $100 a month on something that's going to cost me a lot more trouble? At some point is the juice worth the squeeze, as they say. So that's really how my market delivers to me what's happening in the way I look at yield and per door, Frank.
Yeah, that brings up another thought um, and that is your all-in costs because, for example, on one deal that we did, we put down an extra 5% that helped the cash flow, or excuse me, it helped the interest rate, which in turn helped our cash flow a little bit. So I know you never want to like force or fudge the numbers to do that. But when you're analyzing and trying to figure out what's an average deal and what's a good deal, um, say for example, on regular 2 to 4 units, you're obviously going to be putting the 25% down. So you analyze all your deals with 25% down. And if that makes sense, um, you know, then you calculate your yield and all that. And again, for us at the stage we're in and shooting for cash flow, a couple of small purchases that we made were all cash, and that generated, a $500 or $600 positive cash flow once we take out for taxes and insurance and and the expenses and everything. So, um, I guess you have to be careful when you're analyzing that you don't change any of those metrics because they will, you know, change the yield or whatever. You want to make sure you're not putting too much in the front side to get your numbers to work, right?
I mean, you just be conservative and be realistic. It's really what it comes down to because at the end of the day, it's like with the Gary property, I was way conservative and it cash flowed pretty decent. And I'm like, oh, another about $200 than I was expecting. Great. Okay. Yeah. Let's swing for the fence. Okay. Hey, yeah, it came back great, but I was still happy with where I was at.
Yeah, and that makes sense. I think we're over. Um, I guess, yeah. Honestly, it would be overly conservative, like you said. And then, if say your insurance doesn't come out as high as you thought, or whatever other expenses are a little bit less, that's all icing on the cake in the end, instead of having a surprise and, going the other way. You didn't really calculate your insurance high enough or things like that. And every little dollar that's taken away in that instance really can hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. You have a buffer there to work with, because you're like, okay, well, the rents can actually go for quite a bit higher, but these unexpected expenses brought it down to where I was comfortable with that first, the initial calculation or running of those numbers.
Yeah, it's I think Dion had a good point for us, because, and I didn't realize it until the guys, I keep referring to the guys. So Mikey and Cody and Jason and we talk every week. And they reminded me that we've only been, you probably heard my story where we lost everything back in 07 and went through a lot of crazy times, bankruptcy and all that. And so we're starting again. And our first purchase on the second go round was in August of 21. So I keep losing sight of that, thinking we should be doing better, but it's really only 2.5 years. So Dion was like, instead of concentrating so much on maybe getting the next asset, concentrate on stabilizing what you have, which, was an excellent point. And just a reminder that we've only been in, again, a short time, and we are doing pretty good for that short of a time.
I'm curious if, Frank, if you consider the courses that you take or like getting like Casey's help to get the rental property, if you consider that in your cost to acquire.
No, I never have.
Okay.
Um, yeah, there's so many things like that, Sierra, that come into play and I'm afraid that if you really take all of that into account, like, the good, the bad, and the ugly of this past year, we had a lot of expenses. Like I said before, furnaces, water leaks. Just today we got the toilet call, things like that if we take all of that out, we probably wouldn't be making any money. So I purposely don't look at that, because that would knock a lot of people out. And I can still see the benefit of long-term buy and hold real estate if we can just get through this, say, this expensive, the like the guys say, the first 5 years suck. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I tell them, if I had realized this, or if people realize that it might be a little difficult these first couple of years, they won't ever get in. But if you can make it through all that, I just consider it like, and I've done a couple of our deals that way, where, if you have $60,000 sitting in the bank and you're going to get $100 a month interest, but you put it in the property and you're getting a couple $100 a month cash flow, that's where my head is. And I think, like we just said, over the years, it's going to get better. And honestly, you could say, if we spent $20,000 on repairs this last year, it's all going to come out in the wash, as long as you can endure those hardships by having the reserves. And, so yeah, I think, like you said, if I consider all of the money that we've put down this year, it would be discouraging to most people. But I do see the positive with the cash flow starting to be a little bit more regular. We always joke, we joked last week about, if I ever have a month where we get all of the rents and we don't have an expense, that, we're going to have quite a party for that month anyway.
All right, what did I miss?
a lot.
Well, I had a phone call to take. I'm
Good
sure you
thing
guys
it's
are
on film.
fine. Oh, what is that?
Good thing it's on film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
you can go back and rewatch it later.
I am not gonna rewatch it. Uh, who's not here? Everybody still here? No. Yeah. Joel's
It's
here.
Cody left.
Yeah, Cody left. Okay. Oh, Dave, you know Joel?
I
No, this is the
don't.
first time.
How
Oh,
you doing, man? Nice to meet you.
it's the
What's up, Dividend
legendary
Dave?
Dividend Dave. Yeah. He is top 10 on my YouTube videos for views. But Joel he's a
So I got
lender.
like 3 views.
No, man, you're like, I don't know. You're the highest male, maybe, views. No, Mikey might be not, I don't know. I forget.
You
But
can see rankings?
no, just the amount of views on the videos. But
Oh.
yeah, Alyssa is still the number one for my videos, I think.
You
She has
gotta
a
show
big
more cleavage. What can I
Oh,
say?
I get what you're saying now.
yeah,
Okay.
she has a big family, she said.
Oh, she sent it out to all of her family to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't
Um,
think about doing that.
I gotta
Okay.
show more. I gotta show more cleavage, I guess, for
Yeah.
men. Yeah. Is it working? I don't know. Are we going up?
We're canceled all of a sudden.
Oh, man, we almost made it. Almost made it.
So Joel Dividend Dave lives in North Carolina now. He's the founder of the Passport Bro community,
Oh,
and
okay.
he
Okay.
also he's house hacking, and he also he just got a property in Gary, Indiana.
No shit. The house hacking part, that's the stuff that's really interesting because I hear so many creative stories of people doing things to keep it going. Doing one is hard enough. Doing more than one as you get further, as your family grows and things change, like it's just I love hearing those stories. So uh,
Well, no, sorry if I interrupted you, but yeah, I'm just it's seriously, and I'm not exaggerating, it's life changing. Like, when we started this live stream, I was talking a bit about my story, and I was approved for like 300,000 from one person and 200,000 from another in Washington. I'm like, you can't do anything with that. But here in North Carolina, it's still good. So, I got this duplex for 140, and there's tenants in it, and the tenants I found out weren't even screened by the prior owners. They're like, oh, you can pay rent? Okay, you're in. I mean, these are like the most wonderful people ever. Like, I don't know if you saw Millennial Mike's reaction video to Dave Ramsey's house hack compilation, but I'm
mm,
like, where is Ramsey coming up? Ramsey at all? All the people with Ramsey and this whole group. Like, where are they coming up with this stuff? I'm like, I've never even had a tenant message me at 2 a.m., let alone knock on my door. We live right next to each other. It's like we don't even hear them. There's no wild parties. There's nothing. So I don't know where they're getting their facts from, but it's like as soon as I purchased the property, I was able to save at least 50% of my income.
I'm more
Ridiculous.
worried
Now,
about Mikey messaging me at 2 a.m. in the morning.
hey, wait,
what?
you can do that? Oh, dude, I got your number. It's on.
I'm worried about him coming home from the bar and messaging me. I need a ride home.
Help me.
No,
But
but it's a
yeah,
good strategy for anyone to house hack.
I'm worried about messaging Mark sometimes at 2 a.m. because I forget about the time change. I'm like, wait a second.
wait,
Is
2
he,
a.m. your time or 2
no,
a.m.?
your time.
Oh, I'm up.
Wait. So you're
Jesus.
like 6 hours? Because Sierra, you and I are in the same. We're Eastern, right? So,
I'm actually central, but I'm like
oh,
See,
40 minutes from the Eastern
see,
cutoff.
okay,
she's a
like an
weird
hour behind,
central.
whatever. So what, Mark? You're like what? What time is it there in Hawaii? Was it?
Let me check our coconut clock over here.
Yeah, check
No,
check your coconut clock skipper.
we're 5 hours behind you right now.
Okay.
So right now it is 5:30 p.m.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So Mikey still has time for happy hour.
So when I wake up tomorrow morning at 8,
I'll be up.
what you doing? What you do?
Yeah. I'm usually interviewing someone like the top 5 people. So you haven't cracked that yet.
Oh, oh,
Oh,
oh.
Wow.
That was a good burn.
But
That was
dropping lasers.
I could swap you out with Joel pretty soon because
dropping lasers, man, both ways here. Jesus
Nah,
Christ.
I missed you too, Mark. I missed you too.
well, I gotta, since you're not going to be in Vegas, I gotta get them in now. Since you and Joel aren't going to be there.
Yeah, we're gonna have form our own Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, you should connect with Joel though, man. Joel got a lot of good stuff going on too, man. He's got
We
stuff.
could all meet up in Nashville. That's pretty, I mean,
Yeah,
that's not too
Joel,
far. That's not too far for Joel or
Yeah, I'll
It's
probably be
not.
in North. I'll probably
It's
be in
not.
North Carolina next year.
Hey,
Joel, where are
hey,
you? Where are you at, Joel?
I'm in St. Louis,
Okay.
Missouri.
Yeah.
Sarah, there's a friend of mine who is going to be at a REI conference in Nashville. I think the guy speaking there is name is John Burley. But on January 8th, I think it's a Monday, there's a REI conference that like
oh, really?
someone asked me to go travel over. I haven't decided yet.
Well, come on. I'll go if you're going. If I don't know anyone, I probably won't show up.
You're right.
Watch out, Sierra's bad luck, man. Hugo got
No.
got some bad luck,
Listen,
dude.
once Hugo actually got around me, it got a lot better. Hugo had, I don't know, he did something wrong when he went on Bourbon Street or something. He crossed a voodoo. I don't
Yeah.
know what happened, but I mean, he had his bank account drained. He had, he had,
What?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
it went south for him in New Orleans. I would not recommend, but Nashville's not gonna have that kind of stuff going on. So
Shit.
I just went to Nashville a couple of weeks ago. That was an expensive weekend
Really?
oh, what?
and a lot of stairs.
A lot of stairs?
It's a lot of
Every
stairs.
bar's got rooftops and all the other
Oh.
shit. There's no elevators. It's all stairs.
What?
A single
Okay.
flight of stairs.
No, like 4 stories.
What?
Oh.
It's always more stairs after
Oh,
the
you were on Broadway?
On the
Like
strip
down
in
the
Nashville.
main
I don't
strip, yeah.
know what the
Yeah.
hell it was called. It was a little
Yeah.
bit blurry.
I think Joel, your lending company should have like a REI meetup.
Where?
I don't know.
Nashville.
Nashville. Nashville's a good place.
It
Yeah.
is. I don't know why we're not having the ORAT event there. The yearly one could alternate between Vegas and
Well, we can have our own.
Nashville. Let's do it.
Guys, I'm gonna get going.
All right. Well,
Nice to meet you.
yeah, I'm glad we didn't
I have
get
to get
canceled.
going as well.
All right. Cool.
Uh,
Yeah, keep us up to date on your stuff, man. I'm interested to see how
Wait,
it goes.
before you guys go, so PPB group, so Didi, Mikey, Jason, Cabasetti. How many people are in the PPG?
What the
Passport
heck are you
Bros group?
talking
What in
about?
the world?
Dude,
I don't even know I'm part of this. I don't even know
Passport.
I just saw our viewership go from like 10 to 2 after that.
That's
what
right.
group
That's
am
what
I
I do.
part of? I don't even know.
Passport Bros. Mark, you said he was part of the Passport Bros.
He is
group.
the founder of it. Him
The
and Mikey
founder.
have it. Him and Mikey both are.
How are you the founder and don't even know all the acronyms here? Come on now, catch up.
I mean, he just mentioned it now, and I'm the founder. I'm like, I don't remember finding anything.
Well, him and Mikey are very. They have their girlfriend or spouse or from
My
Japan.
wife is
Yeah, my
my wife's
wife.
Japanese, and your girlfriend's Japanese, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're both from Japan. Yeah.
Are they from the same like town or close? I mean, close by, or you don't know?
My wife's from Otaku.
Oh, yeah. Saitama.
Like, yeah. So it's a bit different. Yeah, it's a bit far away, but yeah.
Cool,
Japan's
man.
not very big,
So,
so you know.
how many are in your guys' group
Well,
or team?
the group only exists in Mark's mind. Okay.
No, it's a
Dude,
real
bro,
thing.
no
No,
conspiracies
no.
tonight, bro. No
Dion,
conspiracies.
Dion and Millennial Mike are gonna join. And I think Hyder
Are you gonna be
is
then?
on
Are you
board.
gonna be in that group too?
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm out.
I'm gonna go to whatever. I'm gonna go to
Good call,
whatever
Dave.
country like 5'5" is like the height that being tall. That's where
Are
I'm
you gonna go
going.
to like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory? Is that
Hey, Mark
Oh,
Ham
man.
is here. All
I
right,
was, I
man.
was explaining Mark's resume to my girlfriend and say, okay, spread the net, try to find someone for my friend.
No, 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 no.
Yeah.
all right, guys? This conversation is getting a little bit too adult for me, so I gotta go. All right, we'll see you guys
All
later.
right, thanks,
Yeah,
man.
right, Dave.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's fun.
Have a good
See you
night.
guys later. Take care. Have a good night.
Okay, see ya.
Jason, I forget. Are you married?
No, I'm widowed.
Oh, okay. Passport bro? No.
No.
I don't know how I became a member, and my wife is wondering the same thing.
No.
I'm sure you can't feel the glare right now. She's standing right there. She,
You have to. You gotta like throw up a sign that she's sitting next to you or something.
she just took my passport.
I got his passport, trust me.
See what you started, Mikey? Frank's never gonna be able to get out of the house now.
It
Oh
was
man.
all downhill from here.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's Sierra's job. Sierra's supposed to find more talent.
Find more talent or
Yeah.
find you all women.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. It's good seeing you all again. Talk
All
to you
right,
later.
man. Yeah, thanks. Keep us up to date, man.
Will do. I'll know more Friday.
Cool.
Thanks.
Sweet.
All
Good
right.
luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing up, Joe. About an hour and a half late, but
Hour and a half.
yeah,
You guys been going for an hour. What time did you
What?
start?
He
8.
wasn't.
Like I said.
Then
I was
I
just,
thought you said that you gave me 8 o'clock because you thought I was gonna be late. So you're
yeah,
looking
I was just trying to make you not feel so bad that you were late.
Okay. Now
Yeah.
now I understand. Okay. So I did come in quite late. Okay.
Yeah, you did, but I'm used to it already.
So it wasn't 3 minutes, it was an hour and 3 minutes. Okay. Damn.
Yeah. Cool. Is Dave still here? He's still showing up on my screen. He's not.
No.
My stuff must be frozen because both of Jason and Dave.
No, they're gone.
All right. Well,
Joel, after you I saw you messing around with the Bright Investor stuff on Mark's channel.
yeah.
So I need to
Oh yeah.
hit you up and have you look at some stuff in Tulsa on there. Because I don't
Yeah.
Have you used that with Frank when he called you up? Bright Investor?
No, not on on video or anything like that.
Oh,
Not yet, yeah.
Yeah, Joe presented one to me and it was pretty spot on. It was awesome.
Yeah, Frank, maybe I did. Did I send you any snippets of Bright Investor? I forget.
Yeah, you sent me a couple of things after the first time we spoke. One of them was that.
Okay,
And
I
then
did.
you resent me. I think what you resent me today was like the application process.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be filling that out shortly. I was telling the guys earlier that I was still actively looking at deals and nothing was working out. And then in talking to Dion, suggested that I sit back and concentrate on stabilizing what we have because this year, just in August, I think August and September, we closed on the 3 single families and I hadn't really stopped to look at what we've been doing, and I need to slow down and start doing a better job of record keeping, when we purchased what and what our insurance costs are actually, and make sure I have full replacement coverage instead of just I forget what the other one's called, but another investor that Dion connected me with today had asked if she asked what we were paying for insurance, and when I shot her the number, she was surprised. She was getting crazy quotes from Allstate, and she's looking at a property in Gary in the $70,000 range, and they were coming back with like 2,200-2,400 a year, and I just couldn't. I couldn't
Yeah, that's
understand
high
why.
for the Midwest. That seems pretty high.
Yeah, so I had recommended, we've worked with a broker by the name of Tyler Curley, who's with, I think it's Pass. Can't remember the whole name, but he's a broker that helped us with our first triplex. And then we've, on the last three that we purchased, I went through NREIG through a broker there. Those properties were in 3 different states. And that's where I got my number. It was between $80 and $90 a month per property. And so I want to go back through that paperwork and see, what we're actually paying for, because now that we have the 5 properties, and Dion always talks about umbrella coverage and things like that. So I'll be figuring all that stuff out and then checking into the umbrella policy as well. But yeah, I instead of focusing on growing too rapidly, I need to sit back and really figure out what we have, what we're paying, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, because you have the variable costs, the stuff that just pops out of nowhere. Like that's the stuff like that you never know when it's going to hit, and then trying to identify what's typical versus not typical in terms of maintenance and all that stuff. But like the 2 4 units that I have in South St. Louis, I mean they were built in the 20s, 30s, I think. So like, I've been slowly redoing a few units at a time, but it's like, it's always something that breaks down. And I think you and I talked about that too. It's just like, so you can get all the way through the entire process of renovating them. I mean, just going to continue to have stuff just eat away at your profits. So,
yeah, and that's a good point, because I think, well, the triplex that we bought, well, I think that one was built in 1904, and the stuff Mikey's looking at in Pittsburgh is older. When I like the quality of the homes built in that era, but when we look at stuff like that, I'll always look to see if the plumbing and electrical's been updated for sure. A roof is a little easier to do after the fact, but if you have tenants in there and you're going to try to replumb a place, especially a multifamily, it could get pretty intrusive into each unit.
Yeah, and one of the units, I had to redo the electrical in the entire building on one of them, and then the other one, we were renovating and updating the floors and some of the cabinets and kitchen stuff, and it's an 800 square foot shotgun, 1 bed, 1 bath, so it's not big. But 2 of the units have electrical that's like intertwined, and so like we've had 3 or 4 months of trying to figure out how to get the electrical unwound and undone and not spend an arm and a leg. And so it's just been sitting for a couple months and just trying to find the right person and to get it done. But it's like the most random shit just pops up. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that Mikey was looking at too. It was like half knob and tube and half newer wiring. They spliced the knob and tube into the new stuff, and that just is, it's not a good starting point for sure. Especially when the homeowner's been trying to fix it instead of an electrician.
That's funny. We do all of our own electrical and plumbing for that matter. But I don't really mess much with the plumbing, but I do the electrical.
Yeah,
But
we do all
it's
that
crazy
stuff.
what we tore out of here. Where there was a what should have been, I don't know, a junction box of some kind, but it was, I mean, they were essentially using one outlet as like the hub for all of the electrical in the addition. And I don't know how it hadn't melted. It was mind-boggling. So we separated stuff out onto its own breakers and ran new electrical in the attic space and stuff like that. But it was, I mean, that's the crazy stuff that when you start removing some drywall and you see what's behind, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, I think that's always scary because, you see, and we purchased a few turnkeys, and you look at now that we've been looking for a while, you can see when it's a flip, somebody's doing a flip for sale. And that just makes me nervous because
Mhm.
the couple of small things you can see outside of the walls, you just never know what they covered up, so that's, and an inspector's not going to open up walls and check things out like that, of course, but so I tend to stay away from things like that if I know it, if it's obvious that it is a flip. And sometimes you can go back through the data on Zillow and stuff and see the price, the purchase price and what they're selling it for now, and realize that it is a flip for somebody. Um, but yeah, it's pretty scary. And honestly, I mean, I've even done things electrical and plumbing. I It's always safe, but like you just said, one person thinks you can pick a spot, right? Just continue running wire from there.
Mhm.
It's maybe the procedure is safe, but the overall idea of those wires getting overloaded down the road, and if you're plugging in hair dryers and microwaves and things like that, the wire just going to be toast. So
Yeah, and that was what we were doing is we knew we had to run new or different gauge wire for where the microwave would be, for where the mini fridge would be, stuff like that. So we kind of knew we had to replace it anyways. But then when we got in there, we were like, oh, this is this shouldn't have ever been, that way. But that's one reason we really prefer properties to have a basement is because then the accessibility of the plumbing and electrical is so much easier where we can go in and see for ourselves like the majority of the work and what it looks like. The addition, however, doesn't have a basement. Like the house and the main house is on a basement and is all really solid and well done. And then whoever did the addition was just not um not doing it right. And so that's kind of been the problematic thing here. But yeah, that's one thing that we've always kind of like leaned towards is staying away from stuff that we couldn't easily repair ourselves, where it's, not a nightmare to get underneath and fix things.
yeah, it's even in new construction. I had a job the other day. I just finished a bathroom remodel, and we were realizing that one of the outlets in the garage, on the wall, if you look at the wall, there was a smoke path going up the wall. And we were plugging our tile saw into that outlet, and we thought, well, we better
Oh
check it
no.
out. And so we checked it out. The outlet was faulty. We replaced the outlet, and then we realized that when they built the place, it was a condo. And so from the master bathroom GFI outlet, if something tripped that outlet, it shut off the other two bathrooms, the garage outlet, and the two exterior outlets. So if we hadn't been, messing around in there, we would never realized that. The exterior outlets should be GFI protected, but with them being connected to the bathroom, if the bathroom goes out, like the customer had cameras plugged in outside, so her camera shut down. She didn't know why. Different things like that. But to make it right, you know, we would have had to cut holes everywhere to get a new circuit put to the exterior, and then separate the two other bathrooms and separate the garage. So I was surprised at that because the condos were probably built in the late 70s, and you still find stuff like that.
Wow.
Hey, Mikey disappeared.
Yeah, he finally got tired of your Bad joke.
My bad jokes.
Or maybe I should say him being picked on.
No. Sierra, do you know Mark Ham? I mean,
I think that I have seen him in the comments before, and I want to say one other time that I either commented about him being from Oklahoma City or something like that, but I don't think we ever connected anywhere else that I can remember. But obviously at the time, I probably wasn't looking at moving back to Oklahoma, but I am now. So we'll see if we can connect when I'm there next.
oh no, Mikey's still here. His video's off.
How come
Yeah.
Hyder doesn't ever come on and talk?
Uh, tonight he had some. I forgot what he said. He had to do something with his daughter. I don't know. He said something. But yeah, he commented something on one of my videos, but he has a funny skunk story. I, I gotta find it. But yeah, Hyder gotta get in these. He's on TikTok now. You should go look for him.
I saw someone in the comments say that they liked him on TikTok or something like that.
Well, that was one of my fake accounts.
Oh, okay.
I was like, Hyder, you're my
My
favorite on
goodness.
TikTok.
Okay. Is that fake account subscribed to my YouTube channel?
I told you it's gonna be your monetized subscriber. So when you're at $9.99,
Oh,
I'm gonna subscribe with it.
I
But
appreciate that.
well, it's the least I can do for you being on every week. But Mikey's back. But so Joe, do you want to go over your good, the bad, and the ugly for 2023? I want to see you cry.
Right now?
Oh, we can do
I was hoping to save my tears for Friday.
It's late, so you can do a short version, just the bad and the ugly.
I think his
Don't-
bad and ugly was kind of longer than his good.
No, I mean this is mortgage industry. It's just been rough. It's been rough.
Well, because you show up late to meetings that you schedule with my friends, or you don't even show up.
I mean, oh, you're throwing both again? What?
I get him to schedule something with you, and like,
I mean, do we forget that he no showed the
yes, I
first
know.
day?
Well, yeah,
The
I
first
know,
day?
I know. But
And then
anyways,
we rescheduled. We didn't get it on a calendar. Blah 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 blah
yeah,
blah.
I know.
The calendar.
Ah,
But no, I just think it's going to be really interesting because everybody and their brother and their mother and their cousin and their auntie has a real estate license. 20 and 21 were years where there's just a lot of activity, and 22 things slowed. 23 slowed even more, and so there's going to be people that are not going to be renewing their licenses. So
ooh,
that
I think you
means
said that. I
lender.
already knew.
You got like an hour. You got like 1 hour to do it.
No, is it the 28th?
It's gonna be
Yeah.
No, it's the 31st.
tomorrow.
Ended up. No, isn't it the end of the month?
I don't know.
You
I don't know what it is for realtors, but no, for lenders, like lenders are not going to be renewing their licenses. Agents are
hold
going
on.
to be
I'll
renewing
be
their
right
licenses.
back.
So it's just going to be an interesting landscape of who survives in these industries as things change and evolve.
So do you think
So
it's a good time to become an agent or become a lender because a lot of people are going to be exiting?
um, if you can do it and not rely on a paycheck, yeah, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, because it's just to build a business from scratch takes months, years, let alone in these markets where it's like if you're a lender and your only business comes from realtors, every single lender out there is knocking down a realtor's door to get referrals. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to work. If you're an insurance agent, you're knocking down doors from lenders to get referrals. And so that's also probably not going to work if you're out there trying to. So it's like trying to find a niche, niching down a little bit, I think is important. Something that along my career, and I've been in the business since 2006. So, I mean, I've had to reinvent myself multiple times in different things and different niches and products and different things, which is kind of, why I'm licensed in multiple I'm licensed in 15 states right now. And when I was on the banking side, we were doing business in all 50 states and just a lot of clientele, a lot of military clients, VA loans, um, something that I was into, in years back. But it's just going to be interesting to see how things evolve, because when rates probably go down, all bets are off. Prices are going to continue to go up, and something that Mark and I have talked about on this channel, like I'm just people that don't own anything, people that are in their 20s or below that. I mean, that whole generation. I mean, they may never own. I don't know.
Yep. So glad Mikey got in, you know.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah.
it a part of any of y'all's strategy to seller finance, like after holding the properties long term, then like towards the end switch over to um just holding the notes and not having like the maintenance, part of it on your plate and just doing seller finance for the cash flow? Seller
I don't know
finance
that.
your properties, that's what I mean, not like get seller financing, but
Right. I see what you're saying. Dion talks about that a lot, and they joke around that he's going to sell all his stuff to Millennial Mike and just live off the payments. But I think in our case, our son is going through this journey with us, and everything will land in his lap after we don't want to deal with it anymore. Um, and whatever he decides to do with it, it will be up to him, as long as we don't have to live on the cash flow.
right.
So, yeah, I guess it depends. If you have children, again, Dion and the guys talk about um, that being just giving it to your children or your heirs or whoever it might be. Um, it could be setting them up for failure if they're not invested in it, also, because they'll just dwindle it away. They talk about that when you're talking about generational wealth, and I don't think either one of them. Well, mostly Dion doesn't really think about the generational wealth, and someone who's um, building generational wealth. So just say if we were younger and our child was very young, they're going to grow up with all of these things and not really understand how it works unless the parents teach them. And then, they inherit this big thing that they don't know how to deal with or control, and that kind of thing. So there's probably a few different perspectives depending on, I always call myself old, but the depending when you were able to start in the journey, is going to have some impact there too. Our son's 29 and has been learning with us since we restarted learning in 2019. So I think he'll have a good idea of how the cash flow can benefit, him later on in years, and he'll understand about the 1031 exchanges and not kind of the thought of not ever wanting to sell a property, keep it for 30 years or whatever. And I know one part about that too is knowing when to get rid of properties if they're going to cost a lot, if they need to be rebuilt, or like we just talked about, the homes built in the 1900s have already been here for 100 plus years, but the homes built in the 80s and 90s and 2000s aren't going to last that long. So you're going to need to know when to get rid of those kinds of assets. At least that's how I look at it. Yeah.
My friend just bought a property in Connecticut that was built in the 1800s, and it's wild. I'm trying to think of the actual name of it, but like the beams are put together with like spikes essentially. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean it's still standing, right? So like, the he did the 203K on that property, and so is rehabbing, everything that was needed to get it good to go again. But it's just like, man, that thing's gonna be there forever.
Yeah, and hopefully it will. Hopefully, I've always been amazed at that kind of construction, and it's almost sad when, I've had the good fortune of working on a couple of properties that were built in that time frame. You open a wall and there's a newspaper from 1901 there, and it was a sales ad from our town, which was just amazing. I love all that stuff, but then it's almost sad when we have to bring in our new
Hmm.
construction techniques, and almost mess up what somebody built. And the just the craftsmanship back then, they didn't have the power tools and all that stuff, and putting stuff together with wooden pegs instead of nails, and it's just amazing, and that's why they're still standing.
Yeah, it's
It's
all like rough cut lumber that obviously was like from the property right there.
right, right,
Uh, so
yeah,
yeah, it's wild.
yeah, and an
Hyder,
actual.
oh, no, no,
I was
go.
going to say an actual two
Hyder
by
just
four.
commented to
Oh,
Sierra about her spikes.
My phone died, so tell me what it said.
It just says dolls. He is
Oh.
laughing at spikes.
Well, it's like, I mean, they're huge, to hold the beams up. I don't know why I think of like Phineas Gage and like the spike. That's like what's going through my head right now with the wooden um anyways.
Okay, so I gotta ask this question. Speaking of quality construction going backwards in time, what do you guys think about the Egyptian period pyramids and how long ago they were actually built versus what is known by our archaeologists?
I just saw a post somewhere today where they found this tunnel, and it's a I don't know how many feet deep it was, but then at the bottom there's a room. I don't know what they used the room for, but I've always been amazed at the way they built things back then. Just like I said, as early as our 1900s, I'm amazed at how they did things without modern tools, or you can't imagine how they got all those blocks stacked
Mm-hmm.
with
80
men.
ton blocks, precision, with like no space in between,
Yeah,
taking them however 300 miles from a quarry, all the way. I don't know. There's a lot of theories out there that they were built um, well before kind of like I think a lot of them are are quote unquote built like 1800 BC or 2000 BC, whatever. And some theories said that they were built, maybe even before the Younger Dryas, ice age ending. But who knows?
yeah,
Interesting
that's
stuff.
amazing. There was a story back in, I guess must have been grade school, and it was fiction, but they talked about um, the pyramids and things like that being on other planets, and when we're always trying to figure out how to take things apart to see what's inside, and once we got inside that one, there was just like some beacon, and they said that the aliens were just waiting for somebody to reach that beacon to know when they were in danger, right? Because we finally had the technology to get inside what they built, so they were going to come for us after that.
Whoa, whoa, what are we talking about? Aliens and stuff now? Let's go back to like passport bros and stuff.
That's
Interesting.
I think you just opened the third dimension in my brain. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at work talking to one of my coworkers. Now we're going to talk about climate change and stuff.
I think,
Nah,
well,
I ain't going
Joel,
there. I ain't going there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm going to talk about vegan tree hugging stuff and
We're talking about quality craftsmanship.
Yeah.
oh, okay. All right. Oh, by the way, you're in last place in the football league.
Oh man.
That has nothing to do with
So,
quality craftsmanship.
I know. I've been waiting
That-
to throw it in there, but he finished in last.
Do I get a toilet bowl? Do I get a trophy?
Nah, you don't get anything. You're lucky we didn't play for money this year.
I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky you didn't take
Han
my.
who doesn't even know football, who thinks we're playing basketball, is in the championship game.
Oh really? Jesus.
Yeah. He only knows one player, and that's because of Taylor Swift.
Oh, geez.
And well, what's the other one? The gymnast and the her Green Bay husband.
The who?
Oh yeah, Simone Biles.
Yeah, Simone Biles.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who her husband is, but I know she's dating somebody.
Oh
Or
yeah.
her husband. Okay, yeah.
Look at you knowing the gymnast and not that.
I mean, I don't really watch a lot of football. I mean, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
But
Well, yeah, I don't know. This is always fun, man. We just talk about whatever's and yeah.
I mean, hopefully this Egyptian, alien talk doesn't get your stuff pulled down. If it does, man, you're gonna have to find me. I'm 5,000 miles away. You have to come find me.
No, I don't. If anything's gonna get us canceled, yeah, I don't know. Nothing right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's best because it's the camaraderie and the banter, and you're learning, but you're also having fun. So that's what I learned most on.
Yeah.
That's why the channel is so good. That's why everyone should subscribe.
That's what I think. But
You said it. You said it. I like it.
Mikey, you can be a weekly guest. Joel, you're bumped.
No.
That's
Well,
okay.
you can come on over to my channel. I don't have any guests.
That's fine. I'll go where I'm wanted. No worries.
Frank, you're up.
I'm gonna start recruiting all of the guests off of Mark's channel onto mine and see if I can grow faster.
Gonna be the same channel, just different host. Oh shit.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate you taking a chance on us, Mark.
No, man. I'd be nothing without you guys. I'd be nothing. I'd be nothing if Shara didn't show up. I don't know what I'd do.
You would still do this just with a bunch of dudes.
Well, we're trying to find more talent, but it's been a little challenging.
Mark's sliding into so many girls' DMs trying to get them on the channel.
Yeah.
I mean, like Mark, what you could do is you could put like an affiliate bonus to your team here. Like, hey, whoever finds the talent gets a bonus. Incentivize the team to recruit some talent.
Give you a black hoodie to wear on your lives on the
Okay.
calls.
Okay. We'll say financial firefighter. I'd buy one of those.
Well, Sierra doesn't help. Oh, who's calling me?
What do you mean I don't help?
Oh,
You
she
told me
doesn't-
I couldn't wear a black hoodie, and now you're offering to give Joel one to wear on the show.
No, I mean when I try to recruit these people on Twitter, you gotta like, oh yeah, I was on there. It's great. You just like the
You're not
thing.
gonna recruit anybody on Twitter.
What do you
gotta-
mean?
I followed
gotta
her
like.
and she followed me back.
Yeah.
What else do you want me to do?
Hey,
You need to give.
she didn't
you need
follow
to-
me, I think.
Well, I commented and said that I subscribed to her channel, so she followed me.
Oh.
All right, so Sierra, you're now appointed to PR manager for this show. Now that you have a title, now you can go recruit.
And I can also send Mark a bill.
Whoa.
Yes,
Mikey.
invoice. QuickBooks. Yeah.
Hold on, man.
Joel, if you come to Nashville and what is that next week?
Oh my God, dude.
We can create, but we can create a bunch of content while you're here.
We could. I'm working on some stuff, and if I can get it figured out, I'll let you guys know. Trying to figure out some leverage stuff. from a content standpoint. Don't want to say it because I don't want to jinx it, but I'm working
Are
on
you
some stuff.
hiring someone from the Philippines?
Chip-
That's what all of the content creators do. When I was at FinCon,
I
that's what I found
mean,
out is that everyone was hiring people from the Philippines. I was like, I didn't know everyone was
mhm,
outsourcing their content to the Philippines, but they are.
mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really want to say it out loud. Jeez. Well, I'm looking at some stuff, so we'll see.
Cheaters. Bunch of cheaters.
Yeah, I kind
Yeah.
of took away any thunder that I had as far as like editing content for people because I'm like, I charge American rates. So that you don't want to pay me that.
Unless you could put together a package that pulls it all
Mm,
together.
yeah, I mean, really the main selling point is that like I understand the content and therefore know what is good to pull and won't have like, typos that don't make sense. And because that seemed to be their main complaint was that they had to correct a lot of the language or correct a lot of what was important to be posted on their social media and instead of just like a random 10-second clip out of
Mhm.
their long form. So that's but they just say that they train them and then they're good. So
Yeah.
Writer said people love the alien talk.
How many people?
Don't worry
Those
about
five
it.
that are on here?
Yeah.
3 of which are Mars.
Well, it was more until you jumped on.
I have that effect. Thank you. Bring me back.
Yeah, would you guys rent from an alien landlord?
When you put it that way.
What a question.
What about a vegan alien landlord?
Now you're going too far.
That's my coworker, man. Yeah. He's crazy. Drives me nuts when I go to work now. Not the guy you're gonna be talking to, Joel, but
What do you mean?
my other coworker.
Oh, okay,
Drives me
okay.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking at these comments, geez.
Yeah.
Art people employed, efficient physics. Okay, okay. Yeah.
So, Mikey, if
Mm.
I don't have a room, just letting you know I'm crashing with you in Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because you're gonna be out drinking anyways the whole time. So,
No way. I'm gonna follow you around everywhere.
what?
I'll I'll help. I'll be the filmographer, and I'll help make videos for you.
Yeah.
I actually
How
thought about looking into hiring someone to follow us all around while we were there to create content.
Hugo.
He's only going to be there for like one day. He's not even staying the night.
I
Seriously?
forgot. No, I forget. I forget what he messaged me last. I think he might try to stay for the weekend. Since I think I told him the event's Saturday, Sunday. So I'm thinking he might try to stay for the weekend. I think. I forgot what he said.
This is gonna fly in and fly out?
I
No
think he was gonna
driving.
drive there.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I'm
That
guessing I'll just
sounds
have like
terrible.
my stuff set up in my room, and then if anyone wants to record, because I don't want to haul my like laptop and my mic all over Vegas.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
let me know. I'll help.
You're just gonna have
You
cameras
want to
all
carry all
like
the equipment,
cameras
or you
all
want to come over and record?
he's gonna have cameras all taped all over him, like on his head and his yeah.
So when you say bring your laptop, what do you mean? Like you would do it like through Zoom and bring your
Yeah,
camera?
I mean, because I would want to, well, yeah, I wouldn't probably want to record stuff on my phone the whole time. I'd probably want to record like, on Zoom with my mic and my nicer camera if we're, gonna do anything long form.
What camera do you use on your
Uh,
laptop? Or do you use like a webcam or?
yeah, I have a Logitech Brio 4K webcam
Yeah.
on a tripod.
Yeah, I bought a Sony Z1 camera, but then like my lavalier mics don't connect with, so I have to get like a different lavalier mic if I want to be able to use that camera for interviews. Anyway, just all kinds of bullshit.
Yeah. I try to keep it simple as possible because it's not like anyone cares currently. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I do need to get a small mic to use with my phone, but my phone sucks but it's paid off and so I don't want to upgrade it. So
Yeah.
I'm just like in the whole dilemma of how much money do I really want to invest in recording video?
What about you, Frank? When's your channel starting?
Well, I'm kicking around the thought of starting it at the beginning of the year. Um, I was gonna actually, I need a name. I was gonna reach out to Millennial Mike since he helped you so well
Oh yeah.
with your name
Yeah.
to come up with something catchy. And like I said, I'm still wrestling with the thought of whether or not I should combine the remodeling stuff with the real estate. I don't know. I don't know if that would be a draw or not.
Cool.
But yeah,
All of it. All of it.
you
You don't
think
have
both?
to.
Yeah.
That's my vote
I think
too.
so.
Mhm. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, that because I think one of the things, well, like Millennial Mike was saying, just to get started doing it, because all of his stuff was pretty rough when he first started out. I always worry about running out of content, think different things like that. But I've had other friends who just, one friend in Hawaii, in fact, she just started a YouTube channel to document her remodeling process on her homes. She's in her second home now, but just the transition, and she hasn't put anything up there forever. That's definitely something I don't want to happen, but um, the channel's still there. So if any new projects, or like she recently put in a pool, so she added that after a couple of months and things like that. But I would like to be able to stay consistent and mainly just try to help people that are on the fence, with understanding these first 5 years, especially since we're only a couple of years in. I think it'd be a good place to start.
Cool. Yeah. Do it, man.
Yeah.
Then
All
Mikey's
it
gonna
takes is
start
one
one.
video. Just one
Yeah.
video.
Then
Like
Mikey's gonna start one
from
after.
0 to 1. That's all it takes.
Yeah, well, definitely. And all of my stuff will definitely be on my phone. I'm really technologically challenged, so that'll be a learning process in itself.
I mean, the phone quality isn't bad.
Yeah.
Is if your mic isn't good on your phone, like if you've, gotten water damage and, and it sounds a little fuzzy, I would definitely put in headphones and use a mic on your headphones. But other than that, like the audio matters so much more than the video. And I mean, all of my stuff was on my phone at the first like 10 videos or so before I got a webcam. But I'm with Joel. The going from 0 to 1 is the hardest part.
Yeah, it
Yep.
has.
It
That's
doesn't
why.
even matter. Like no one's gonna watch it. Like literally.
That's true.
Unless you
Uh,
send it to us and let us know, no one else is gonna watch it because the algorithm isn't gonna know who the hell you are.
Right.
I
So what does it
agree.
matter? It doesn't
I
matter.
agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point.
So I expect to see a video tomorrow.
Any
Send us
video.
give us your worst video. Like just make it as terrible as possible.
You
That's the
can't
test.
you can't release them too early because Mikey's still gonna be sleeping though. So he can't like it and comment right away. So you gotta make it like late in the afternoon for him.
I will say my YouTube shorts though, they got a lot of views.
Dude, 1,100 on your last one.
Yeah, that one did. But like probably my first, I don't know, 6 or 8 were all over 1,000. I don't know what the algorithm was doing. And I didn't say a word. Like it was like a pano shot of a house. So I don't know if you just like when you start a channel, if you get a little bit of a boost just for being new and like I was being consistent and posted one every day for like the first 10, but they were all big hits.
How long ago was that?
Um, let's see, I
Like
started
earlier this year or before that or after that?
I want to say it would have been like October of last year,
Okay.
a little over a year ago.
Yeah, because I can't remember when exactly, but like there was a period of time when, especially on Instagram, they were pushing stuff out. I had a few on YouTube Go too, and then just everything just stopped.
Hmm.
Like early in 2023 for me.
Yeah, my
I
stuff
don't
on
know.
YouTube is pretty inconsistent on the shorts, but yeah, the last one got over 1,000. I don't know why. I I try to send it to people to like it right when I post it, and that seems to help.
Maybe because you're playing with I see your finger going across the screen every time I'm looking at you.
What?
Right? No, Joe's like when I'm watching the record, I see his finger sliding across his like that every time.
like right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at stuff.
man.
Joel's working while he's on these.
No, seriously, I've got a iPad and I've got a computer.
So why are you
Plus,
swiping on your recording?
because I'm multitasking,
Man, trying to ruin my
trying trying
channel.
trying to give you
Mikey,
some good content, some good input.
Mikey,
All
do you
right.
have plans to create content or are you just going to be a content supporter?
I I would probably go something totally out of the ordinary, more into I do like pop culture stuff. So I was trying to do stuff like that where I like movies and TV and music and try to infuse that into a motivational type of element where I'll see a clip of something and then I'll try to use it as motivation. And I was playing around with it, but it never went anywhere. And I stopped.
Wait, so you have a channel?
I was trying to play around with one, but I didn't
Oh,
really see
you gotta tell us what is it? I'm gonna find it.
it's well, I named it pop culture motivation. Pop culture motivation. Yeah.
I like it.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
But it was weird because I was messing around with more like rom-com stuff. But what I wanted to do was take elements of the pop culture I like and how it motivates me. And I was trying to mess around with it, but I never really got far with it.
I did that. Um, I tried this as well. Uh, to do a faceless channel. Like I was just gonna test it out and see how it works because that's, pushed as one of like the ways to get big on YouTube. Um, and I did like celeb flip book, I think is what I said what I did because the celebrity videos do so well on there, like the montages. And I did like I made probably, I don't know, 4 videos and got 17 subscribers like in 2 days. Like it was growing fast, but I absolutely hated doing it. And I was like, this is why you can't do things that you don't care about, like just for the money, because you just can't stick with it. And it was terrible. But now that's one of my like alternative accounts that I like my videos with. So
Writer said he got 1,000 views on his last TikTok.
look at him go.
Yeah.
No way. I'm stuck in the 200 jail
On
every
what?
single
On
on TikTok.
TikTok? I don't even
Yeah.
go on. I don't even go on there anymore.
I don't go on there either. I should though. I mean, I had probably 800 or so followers on there. I was getting very close to 1,000 when I stopped making TikToks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, just too much
The
things.
two.
I was just dancing, y'all. Like it wasn't anything good.
Is
What's
your
Hider's?
what is what? Oh, I don't know.
What is his handle? All Night Hider.
That's just yeah, but I think he put what his TikTok might have been. I forget.
What in the world?
Has received his own official signage and is now an official.
Stop.
What is that?
I tried to get on TikTok on my laptop and it started
Oh.
playing a video.
Let's see. Hider.
Yeah, Hyder has some
So
great shorts.
Oh,
I
his name.
found one,
Wait,
but it shows
his stuff.
private.
Financial logistician.
That's what his TikTok is.
Yep.
Financial what?
Logistician.
Logistician.
Yeah.
All right, Hyder. I'm gonna get back on TikTok just to follow you to be
Somebody
supportive.
share your screen, someone.
I don't even know. I'll have to figure out my password and all the
Yeah, I haven't been on it in a
get
while.
logged in. I was gonna try right then, but I'm not even logged in and it was like screaming at me. So
Frank, do you have TikTok, Frank?
I I don't have TikTok. I do
Yeah.
watch it occasionally, but
Yeah.
Wait,
I try to stay off of it.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong every time on TikTok. I'm like, who's watching me?
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
Zuber and what he says about things like that. You know, I feel really guilty about any time I spend on things that are not real estate related. So
Zuber has shamed us all into thinking that we can't watch fun stuff on social media.
yeah, no fun for the first 5 years.
Um, I mean, I think I stopped because it felt like everything was getting recycled onto Instagram, and I was just like, I'm wasting so much time seeing stuff twice, and so I cut it out.
Well, when we get Hyder on, you guys got to hear his skunk story, man. He commented on one of my YouTube videos. I just couldn't stop laughing. I gotta go find it now.
you guys not see me? The fuck?
Yeah, we
Uh,
see.
Yeah, we see you.
if I could block you, I would, but we see you. If I could turn your camera off, I would.
um. So the financial logistician. I just followed that person.
Yeah,
I guess that's.
he
Yeah.
said thanks, Joel.
I'm a
Said he'll
second follower.
I need
he
to
said
start-
Hell
he
yeah!
said I'll follow back after this.
Woo,
What was it, Joel?
dude. Say that again. I didn't hear you.
What was the title or the name of his?
The financial logistician. Hyder, you need to make more videos, dude.
Yes.
You have one.
Yes.
You have one follower, and you have a 900 views, bro. Don't stop. I don't even know what you were talking about. I just saw the video of you talking. I don't know what it was because we were on the thing, but
Yep,
just throw it out there.
Hyder needs to make a lot more content. He has so much knowledge that he could share, especially about contracts.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
I'm about to pitch in just to get Hyder his rental property. I'm just ready for him.
His daughter set up the account for him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know if you guys want to keep going or anything else you guys want to talk about or
But yeah, I better take off or else I might lose my passport bro status.
yeah, you gotta go make a sandwich, huh?
I make some tamago and gohan.
I started 3 years ago. Yeah.
Thanks again,
Mikey.
Mark, for hosting.
Yeah.
No, yeah, man. I have fun.
Yeah,
This is
thanks, Mark.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Yeah. Thank you guys for doing this. It's always fun. You know, we just gotta tell Joe next time it starts at 7, be on time. And make sure he turns on his iPad so he's not swiping the whole time on the screen. But yeah, we'll do this. I don't know. What is next week? New Year's? I don't know. Oh,
New Year's
Mikey, I,
Eve.
I was trying to tell Sierra about the fireworks for New Year's here.
Oh yeah,
How
he said
how
they're
it's pretty.
crazy.
Oh, it goes off. Yeah, the freeway pretty much turns into a parking lot. I don't know if they fixed that, but out on the west side.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay,
Alright.
so what's everyone's real quick? What's everyone's main goal for 2024 or habit they're changing or like what are you shooting for? Primary focus, any of that mindset work.
Find new talent.
All right.
Find female
I thought
talent.
you were
Well,
going to
I'll be
become
more
a
specific.
I thought you were going to become a sports equipment manufacturer.
6'1". I said I identify as a 6'1" gym equipment manufacturer.
It's funny to me that if you're gonna fabricate your height that you don't go for like 6'3" or like just shoot for the moon.
No, 6'1" is like you don't want to be too tall.
Too tall. Okay.
Mikey, say something.
Oh,
Mike's got to make a sandwich. He's got to go.
Come
Two-
on, son. Someone give me something of substance before we leave.
I'll be happy with 2 multifamily properties.
Not that. I'm
going-
talking about your height.
Oh, five.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go finish
No,
up.
no. I like even though I'm short, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I said all of you over there are standing on your wallets so you look a little taller.
Damn.
But see, Sierra, if I'm holding your camera, I'll be the perfect height so I can, get the videos for you.
Yeah, looking right up my nose.
All right.
I appreciate y'all being a good sport about that.
See, 6'3" is too tall. Millennial Mike has to chime in at the end. That's what I said. Oh no, he's laughing at that. Yeah, it is too tall.
No, it's not. Oh.
Yeah, I think I'm with
I'm,
Mikey.
I'm,
I
I'm
think
going to report Millennial Mike for that comment.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Maybe a
Mikey
couple
wants
more.
Mikey wants 2 multifamilies. Frank.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to get another multifamily. We've been looking for multifamily for a while and just keep falling into the single family deals that make sense. But I think I'm gonna try to hang on to the money we have for our down payment and everything right now to make that happen. And then, the YouTube thing, I think that would be a pretty good goal to reach.
Awesome.
I'm gonna throw mine out. My biggest thing is from like income, building more systems for marketing and lead magnets and tools and guides. That's my biggest thing. For me personally, everything I want to do in real estate flows from income. So that's really gonna be that's been my focus for 24.
Mark's just laughing. He has no goals for 2024.
I'm trying to deal with this intruder in the comment section right now. Millennial Mike says he's 6'3". And he says, thanks for admitting that I can't handle him. Or somebody can't. And he says his goal is 15 units next year. And he just I think he meant to put just went into contract for 6 of them today.
Oh, well. That almost counts on 2023. And I think he has to
That's
have a
what
new yeah, he still has to do 15
Elite.
for 2024.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still trying to get to 300 subscribers.
Did you lose some subscribers recently?
No,
It's all Joel's fault.
no, I didn't. I didn't lose any. I actually got kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I got like 20 in the past few weeks, but
Mark, you need more shorts. You need to put out more shorts, man.
yeah, just stop the short stuff right now before Mike is here. He's gonna say something. hold on, I'm trying to do two things at once right now. Um,
All right,
no,
well,
yeah, I don't know. I'm just just trying to do this, have fun, get my HELOC, try to do more stuff in Pittsburgh.
How
You
long have
know,
you been working on a HELOC?
hey, mind your own business, man.
I asked him that on our call earlier today too. Like, what is the timeline on that? Because I think you keep bringing it up,
Uh,
and
well, I'm trying to clean up my credit, and I want to maybe sell these two properties first, and then um, I want because I want to. If I move back to my parents, then I want to. I forgot. I want to do the HELOC before because that way I'll still get the owner occupied amount, so I can get more for the HELOC.
Ooh, don't put you should probably delete that. You
What's that?
should probably delete that. You don't put that on a record.
Why? What?
If
At
the
the
lender
time,
sees it.
at the time, it's going to be owner occupied. If I just, if
You're
I move
signing
out,
documents, you're gonna live there for 12 months. Just saying.
no, not for a HELOC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, no, I didn't stuff. I didn't see it.
Okay. Delete this.
They're not gonna find this.
You're like, I've got 8
it's very
subscribers.
deep
It's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna hunt. I'm hunting you down. By the way, I'm at 212 subscribers. I'm gonna catch you.
You're riding my coattails. That's why you're like
That's
picking all
right.
my.
I've got that draft. I can drafting you.
Yeah, I tried to get Kevin on tonight, but he couldn't make it. He had family in town. Seems like Cody's interested to talk to him too about self storage.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. But cool. Yeah. Thanks, you guys. This is always fun. I mean, I know we don't cover probably as much stuff as you guys want to cover, but it's just fun.
No, we should do. We should play a game of bring a friend. How many people can you bring onto these?
Well, how about we tell them they gotta subscribe and like
That's
first
what I'm
before
saying.
they.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bring a friend. Bring a friend. Get the views up to like 20.
And yeah, and if they're females, they get extra points because we're looking
right. Do
for
I
more
get extra
talent.
points for that? Because I think I can bring in the females.
Do those points turn into dollars? I mean,
Yeah.
You haven't brought any yet.
What incentive do I have to bring more
You,
females to your
you
channel?
help me and I help you. We're a team here. See, I grow, you grow.
so far it's just an empty
I have
title.
not.
PR manager, empty title.
Janitor on Fire says his goal is to build an ADU.
Nice.
Somehow drinking game next episode. Yeah, I see. You guys ever seen Drunk Real Estate with like AJ Osborne and shoot, what's that guy's name? What's his name? Jay Scott. Theirs is called Drunk Real Estate, and every week they're on, they have to be drinking something. So they have a different drink, or one of them. AJ Osborne drinks Red Bull every time, a different Red Bull, but wine, whatever's. Mikey, you have to behave though. You have a limit.
Oh yeah, cut me off.
How late did you guys stay out in New Orleans?
Me.
Yeah.
Because
that's
I did
where
not.
Hugo got kidnapped, right?
I mean, yeah, so I did not stay out late because I traveling solo know better than to do that in New Orleans. So I did not. There was one night I stayed late at the event and stayed for the movie, and I coordinated with a guy to share an Uber home so that I knew someone would know that I made it back to my room. Yeah, so New Orleans is interesting like that, but I think Hugo went out. I think he went out most nights. But he was there with his fiance, so I think they did a little bit more celebrating and having fun. But I was unable to partake in that.
Yeah. That's where I had my bachelor party in
Oh my,
2014. Yeah, that was a
that's
lot of fun.
wild.
Yeah.
It's wild down there. It's not safe. I mean, even the Airbnb hosts were like, if you're gonna be out past 10 o'clock, like you should just call us probably and we'll figure out how to get you home. Uh, so, there was a lot of instructions on where not to be at certain times and what restaurants you were okay to walk to and what ones you couldn't. And yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah, there was a picture that showed up on my Facebook memory story, whatever, of like it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was walking back with just like paper cups all along Bourbon Street, just everywhere. Like it was just mayhem, crazy, long day, night, everything. But yeah,
Janitor on Fire says Nola sucks.
I mean, personally, I would not go back for any reason. I've been twice before, in high school though, and I didn't, I was there with the Habitat for Humanity stuff, so
It's a
I
long
didn't.
time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But it was rough then, and it hasn't changed. But that's why I'm looking forward to Vegas because, like, I know I'll be able to go out with everyone, and I won't feel like I'm, in danger.
I don't know. Mikey's gonna get people arrested in Vegas, I think.
That's fine. I'm fine with being arrested. I just don't want to. I don't want to be assaulted.
All right. Well, yeah.
all right.
Are we drinking next week? I don't know. I don't want to drink, man.
Yeah, I'll be drinking Dr. Pepper.
That's fine. As
Yeah,
long as
get your
you.
Monster, and you
Yep.
can get your Dr. Pepper. Mikey, what's
Dr.
your drink of choice?
Who drinks? Who drinks
I'll
Dr. Pepper though?
I'll drink stress
Midwest.
relief tea. Stress relief tea.
What?
That's way more PG than I expected.
Did you see that? I don't know, we should go, but did you guys see that Ryan Pineda video? He interviewed that guy while drinking his pee.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Yep.
For the
I guess
That
views.
doesn't sound very interesting, to be honest.
no. I mean, I guess he was talking about there's tons of stem cells in it, so there's a lot of from health standpoint.
You're not going to justify that.
Oh, that's because I guess Ryan Pineda is one of his kids required a stem cell treatment or something for some kind of condition. And this guy was talking to him about it, like, yeah, there's tons of stem cell. And yeah. Anyways,
That's crazy.
yeah. But we lost Frank. Oh no, Frank's there. He turned his camera off. He's muted. He's probably getting yelled at right now. Oh, there he is.
Just came back to say goodnight.
All right, thanks, Frank. Yeah, are you drinking next week then, or no?
Next week, well,
You're a drinker a little bit, right? You have a sip of something, right?
do I have to limit it to Wednesday, or can I keep my regular schedule up?
Oh, I don't know what day. I don't even know what day it is, man. All nighter hider. I'll drink water. Dr. Pepper. What? Numero uno from Janitor on Fire.
All
Have you
right.
got?
So it is Dr. Pepper. Are you are you snooty about it, or can it be like Mr. Pibb or
I'm not snooty.
What the
I'm
heck
not
is
snooty
Mr.
at all.
Pibb?
No.
What are you guys drinking? What the heck is Mr. Pibb and who drinks Dr. Pepper? Wait a minute. What are you guys talking about? I'm losing track of stuff now. Nathan, for you.
Do you know, so what do you call soda out in Hawaii? Pop,
We call
soda.
it soda.
Oh, okay. Just double checking. You and your rubbish bins. I don't know what you guys do over there.
Mikey, set it straight.
Rubbish cans.
See?
No, I was joking with Mark that we should randomly find 5 Hawaiian streets and have Joe pronounce them.
That would be
No, we
fun.
can have all three of you. And whoever gets the closest, I don't know.
Oh man. That would be fun though.
No, I'm definitely
Oh,
down. That
really?
sounds
Every
good.
I'll get
Oh
I'll
shit!
get 5 Oklahoma towns and I'll have you guys pronounce them.
Yeah, St.
Yeah.
Louis streets. Oh, there's a bunch of videos out there about like all the different like backgrounds and St. Louis streets. Yeah, this could be fun. We have like maybe one Hawaii thing, one Oklahoma thing, one St. Louis thing. We can just alternate. That'd be fun.
Janitor on Fire said all sodas are called Cokes in Texas.
Yeah.
He also said
Oh, really?
everyone in Texas drinks Dr. Pepper. And Hyder said my old contractor boss would order Dr. Pecker at drive-thrus. Well, if you guys want to, yeah, we can turn it. I mean, I didn't want to
I mean,
copy.
we don't need a drink for this to get out of hand.
I didn't want to copy drunk real estate. That's why, but that's what they do. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. And if you want to bring a drink of choice, and
Okay, what I need to do is I need to go take some pictures of some random crazy street signs and make you guys try to pronounce them.
how
I can
hard
share
can
my
that
screen.
be?
Oh, it's hard. It's not easy. Yeah.
I wonder if I'll be able to get the St. Louis ones. I wonder if you'll be able to get the Oklahoma towns. Are you familiar with like the Indian tribe stuff?
Navajo? No. No.
Thank you guys. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Yeah, I better take off too.
Millennial Mike says Dr. Pepper is his go-to. You better watch out, man. It's gonna stunt your growth.
Bye, Frank. Bye, Mikey.
Bye. Thank you.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, I guess we're done here. We don't need to lower any more inhibitions. All righty. Well, it's always fun, you guys. So yeah, we'll figure it out.
We don't ever do late night stuff with us. That's the prime
Who's
time
with
for me.
who's with us?
Like for your channel.
Oh shit! I'm usually just this is like feed the cat time and dinner and
It's late
Yeah.
here. I don't have anything to do. It's bedtime.
well, wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
See, I'm
what-
trying not to drink
okay.
alcohol anymore, and you guys are like bringing me back to my danger days.
It was your idea.
Yeah,
Wasn't my
you
no?
suggested it.
Somebody said Hyder. No, somebody suggested it. Doesn't no? They didn't say alcohol though. They just said drinks. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Millennial Mike that said in the comments that he doesn't drink. I don't drink
Yeah,
anymore.
he doesn't drink. I don't. I rarely. I have like a sip usually for like holidays, but that's about it already.
Yeah, very, very rarely.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So
cool.
one of the things I'm going to share with you, the reason I was asking, Jesus, can't even talk. I was
Who,
asking
me?
about, I was asking you guys about on-site video and your laptop and then mics because I'm already trying to do more stuff in person, on-site, in movement with cameras and interviews on site, things like that. So I'm gonna try to get out and do more shit.
Yeah. Me too. But it's just man, when I'm out, it's just like I want to get somewhere, get it done, and get. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the goal, Joel, with that? Just to create more, or
Well, like all the interviews that I do are on Zoom, and it's cool. But like, I want to be able to, capture someone. Like, for example, I did a short video with an artist locally who had an exhibit here in St. Louis, and I'm actually going to be meeting him tomorrow to do some more stuff, but just to get more like in the moment, like what's going on, like to be able to then like have more better visuals rather than just sitting in front of a backdrop talking about God knows what, like actually have more, interactive, more visual type of content. Getting people more like in their environment and talking to them about stuff, and maybe even having it more interactive. It's kind of my thought. I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's just my thought.
Yeah, I was just curious, like what the uh strategy behind it was. Or do
Yeah,
you
it's
do you
more.
come up with strategy behind it, or are you just like, I'm gonna try something new?
I mean, a little bit of both. A little bit of
Yeah.
both. Yeah, but then you have issues with audio quality, and that's a thing to be aware of too. So we'll see.
You know who's good, who would be good to check out is like vloggers, like whatever equipment they use, because they're always on the go, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
That would be who I would look at, and I would look at a vlogger who's got and see what kind of vlogging camera they use and like what, because I don't even think they carry mics for them or even have like one pin to them. So I'm not sure what they do, but I mean, that's
Okay.
probably what I would look at.
Cool.
All right. Well, so Joe, we're not doing anything right this week. We already did. Yeah.
I mean, I'm available if you want to. It's
Mm,
up to you.
I gotta check. We can probably do something Friday, but probably be not
Yeah.
probably be later when I get off work. Easier. It's easier when I get off when I get home from the station. I mean, if I
What
have to
time?
do,
What time is that?
it doesn't matter. You're gonna show up late. I'll tell you like
So just text
maybe
me.
maybe
Can't
nine
escape it.
not nine Hawaii time. So that would be what 2 your time on Friday.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if you meant like it was gonna be later your time. Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
No. No, what do you mean? That is later my time. I mean, later than my normal time.
But yeah, you said when you get off. I didn't know when you get off. I
Oh
didn't know if you meant
yeah,
like
I get off
nighttime.
at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting in my truck at 7:59 waiting for the bop to go off. I'm like staging. Bop, come out of there. I'm like waiting. My gears in my locker are like 7:45. And if I get a call, I'm just like, hope the other guy's here.
Out. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, he's here. He's pulled into the parking lot. I'm like, hey, you got a call, man. I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm horrible already, man.
So volume of content,
What?
like getting out more volume of content. That's good. That's one of the things that I'm trying to figure out with the VA stuff.
But you put out a lot of content.
It's
You
not good
you think
enough.
you're okay, so you want to up the quality, not the volume.
Both.
Well, you should focus on one.
Yeah, there's order of operations for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
We gotta
No,
do.
but
We gotta.
About what specifically? You're all
what's
over
that?
the place. I'm just trying to get you to, I don't know.
Well, I haven't posted a lot recently because of that exact thing. Narrowing the focus.
So what's it narrowed down to?
Mm, Still figuring that out.
She got you, man. We have a big soda discussion going on in the chat, though.
All right.
Really?
Now it's Mountain Dew is better than then I guess Diet Dr. Pepper.
Mm.
See, I back in my soda drinking days, it would have been cream soda and then root beer, but straight from A&W, like out of the tap.
Yeah.
Hyder said he'll drink a Mountain Dew or two in Alaska, but the Panther piss is a bit much. Hyder, you need your own channel, man.
Seriously.
Hyder could have a channel that's just him reading his own comments.
Yeah. Uh, all right. I'm
So
tired.
so wait,
Well,
hold on. Sarah, so what do you think I should focus on?
Joel, you can book a coaching call with me.
Boom. Drop it like it's hot.
No, I'm kidding.
You don't have
What
to
do
answer
I
that. It's okay.
what do I think you should focus on? On which one of your platforms?
See? That's yeah. There
Yeah,
you go.
you're all over the place. So, I mean, for your like on your Strive for 25 account or on your YouTube channel, like what do you want help with here?
Yeah, we can say that for a different day. Too much shit.
Because that's the thing is like you can't just be like, well, I want to narrow down, but then
I
have all these different avenues.
so I guess the question is, right, like my day job is mortgage. Like
Yep.
that's what pays the bills. So at the end of the day, like for you personally, with what you have going on, what type of information would be helpful for you that you want to hear more, or people just in general want to hear? Because no one cares about mortgage or rates or product. No one gives a shit, right? So that's why part of the reason why I have this other lane that I'm doing.
So are you wanting to post content that other people care about to drive your mortgage business, or are you wanting something to as a side hustle that's separate from promoting your mortgage business?
I guess my question I'm asking you is from a mortgage standpoint, from a
Okay.
buying real estate standpoint, what type
Mhm.
of information do you think it would be valuable or people would want to hear about?
Um, so initially I'm gonna say like I'm gonna follow people who I know are uh going to be able to help me in the states that I am interested in, who know about the local areas that I'm interested in, who are going to talk about specifically, like very specifically, the types of different financing options that are available for investors, for small investors, for investors who barely know what they're doing, for investors who have very little maybe to put down or trying to be more creative about structuring a deal and how that can be done. Like that's the kind of information I would be engaged with um is probably geared towards that because I mean as far as real estate goes, it's very hard to find agents who are wanting to work with investors. And it's very hard to find agents that are knowledgeable about how to structure a deal when you can tell like they really just want to work with primary home buyers who have big budgets. And that's not really like small investor friendly. So um,
Hmm.
when it comes to the mortgage side of that, like I just want to know that like can I work with you um remotely? Can we like how often like are you available for calls in a different time zone? Are you in licensed in the states that I'm interested in? Do you have different types of programs that are available for refinancing if rates do come down? Like that's kind of where my head's at with all that.
Okay, that helps. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Why are you laughing, Mark?
Nothing. But Hyder said reading his own comments is a great idea, Sierra. Oh, and he says cream soda and root beer are two of his favorites.
Yeah, Hyder and I are gonna get along great. I'm gonna do a compilation of all of Hyder's best comments.
Oh, that would, yeah.
That would be fun.
All right, I guess I got to get back on TikTok and go
I know I do too.
like his. Yeah, uh, I'm afraid to go back on there though. I'm
Joel,
sure.
are you trying to help the Gen Z people though with mortgages?
I mean, that's one of the lanes that I thought would be not a lot of people that are probably ready to, but like if somebody is ready, like that's where I think you could have the most impact in terms of just having enough time horizon to be able to get somebody going, get somebody to understand what's possible. So that, yeah, I mean, that I would like to. I just don't know if it's the right thing to do or not, though,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's worth the time. I don't know.
Um, because like what about having like or what about interviewing like I don't know, like going to a college campus and like getting some content on campus about and asking like college kids what they think about like how lending works or down payments or just their general knowledge. And like I feel like that kind of content is engaging for that generation.
Ooh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you were gonna do that, would you just do it on your own? Just bring a laptop and camera and whatever, or would you have try to get somebody else to help you with the
So
shooting?
yeah, I would either set up a spot like in the the what's the main like a concourse area at a college.
The spikes.
No, come
Oh,
on. Um, the common area where I don't know where all the food is and all that stuff. Um,
the cafeteria?
I don't. Well, I
Like
guess
the
it depends on what school you go to, but like
like the
not
common
don't.
grounds or like main area or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, like I would either do a setup there where you can have like your recording like on a tripod and like you're just bringing people to like and give them $5 or something to like be like, hey, if you answer these questions right, like you get $5, right?
Oh
Um,
yeah. Answer these questions. I like that. Yeah.
yeah, and so like you can like quiz them and then provide some education in that regard and then make some connections that way. Otherwise, if you're gonna like walk campus, like I would probably have someone follow you and record and like you like walk up to people and ask them.
Yeah. Okay.
That's much better than getting females on your channel in my strategy. But Hyder said Sierra got some wit and ain't nothing to it but to do it. Just put content out there and see what gets the views.
But see, that's the problem, Hyder, is that he's putting out all the content and it's I don't think you're able to determine what's getting traction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Well, I'm done
Let's
here.
do it. Yeah. Yeah. Good shit.
We'll figure it out next week. I don't know. Doesn't have to be alcohol. It can be soda, apparently. Soda's a big hit. So we saw that got a lot of comments going. So we have a soda party next week. But
I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I'll have my Dr. Pepper. I'll probably have maybe a Coca-Cola with me. Maybe have a cream soda, A&W.
I may just have a Dr.
I have
Pepper
like three
because
of
I
them.
don't know. I mean, honestly, I can't say I've ever had. I mean, I'm sure I've had one, but
You're not
I
passionate about the 23 flavors in Dr. Pepper?
what?
23 right there.
23 right there. There it is.
All right, now I might have to just have one just for the show. But yeah, thank you
right.
guys for always putting up with me and doing this, and it's always
We'll
fun.
we'll send you the invoice. It's all good.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm gonna recruit some females and I'll send you an invoice for that.
That's my only request. We just need some more talent, you know. But that's it, you know.
All right. All right.
She did recommend a
I
few, and I'm just trying to see if if I
Yeah,
should ask.
Mark's got high standards for
No,
his
it's not.
females on his
It's
channel.
not high standards. It's just I don't want to like deal with certain things. Maybe
don't even know what that means.
Yeah, you don't. It's pretty
Is
shallow.
that like code word for like not pretty? Like what does that even mean?
no,
Almost.
no,
You're
no,
pretty
no, no,
close.
no. I did not say that. No. Hey, wait a minute. This was really fun. Send me the link to. Oh, Hyder wants in next time. Hyder is gonna do. I want his skunk story. Will be our intro next week. But
All right.
yeah,
Well,
we'll
All right.
have him on. But then we gotta have someone else because if not, there's gonna be nobody else watching. It's just gonna be everyone's gonna be in the live.
well,
And
if you plan it more than 8 hours in advance, could promote it on social media a little bit that we're going live. Maybe get some questions, get the pop discussion or the soda discussion going ahead of time.
All right. Okay. All right. We gotta be okay. Let's be a little organized then next week. We'll try to have it in so everyone should have maybe a topic. We'll give everyone like I don't know, 5-10 minute section, and yeah. So we're gonna have soda. What else? I don't know. What else? Soda is big though. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Yeah, mine will be for next year though. I think Elf on the Shelf needs a updated character. He's the elf needs to be able to more like an actually like a toy or a figure where you can position the arms and everything.
Didn't somebody say that needs to be like a female elf?
No, there is one.
Oh,
The one,
okay.
yeah, but it's just it's hard to do certain things because it's like it doesn't stay. So I think actually
Maybe
people
it was never meant to do those certain things.
I'm gonna
You
you get
know,
yeah that no I agree. So people actually put like the coat hanger, they put holes in it and they shove the wire so that it can actually bend and they can put the arms in certain positions.
I honestly can't imagine caring that much about it to do that.
It's for your child though.
But I mean
It's like
like
Santa to them. It's almost like
I
Santa.
put the elf out and it moves around, but it's still magical and it doesn't have to do like wild stuff, you know?
Well, when he goes to school and the other kids like, what was your elf doing today?
But he
Your
don't, he
kid to
don't
be
go to
like,
public school. So
that's true.
there is no comparison game. It's the
Uh,
best. He's gonna have outrageous confidence when he's a
oh,
teenager.
now we're pushing the envelope here, Hyder said. Yeah. All right.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine going into young adulthood just never having your self-confidence checked?
Yeah.
Be interesting.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna be like 6'8", so I mean he'll be
Yeah. He thinks he's pretty hot stuff already, and he's only like 4 foot. So
all right. Well, I gotta go feed the cats. I gotta figure
See
out
you
what I'm
guys.
gonna do with them when I'm in Vegas. That's what I gotta do.
Oh shit.
over.
Yeah, I might just we'll see. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll do a study and see how long they can last without feeding.
Mm-hmm. At least like 12 days, right?
I don't know. As long as they have water, right? They'll be fine. Gotta get one of those machines. Female elves with unintended options and coat hangers don't mesh well.
Oh man.
All right,
And that's what will get you canceled right there.
we'll end it on that.
That's not going in the comment compilation from high.
All right, well, it's
Save it
always
for a rainy
fun.
day.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll talk
See
later,
you
you
guys.
guys. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.